be heard. God bless the great state of Ohio and this honorable court. You may be seated.
Good morning. Today is December 11th. Welcome to the Municipal Court. I'm Judge Caffer, and we have reviews. It's obviously a pretty big docket. If you look around, there's not too many empty spaces. The reviews are for people who have been before the court and have orders to accomplish, and this is how we check those to see if you're making progress. So when your name's called, come up to the table to your right. If you don't get called with the reviews and you think you should have been called, check in with the clerk's office. Because if you missed a hearing previously, we won't know you're here. There'll be a warrant for you, but we won't know you're here unless you check in. Then they'll recall the warrant and put you on the docket for today. Call the reviews, please.
Shauna K. Bragg, Brian Combs, Angela DeHart, Andrea Ellis, Joshua Ellis, Olivia Gilpin, Kimberly Jones.
Shauna Bragg, 23680. Shauna Bragg. Is here. All right. Do you have a report from ARC today?
I do not.
Are you still going there?
No, I haven't. You told me to start going there. But I called them, and it was a Monday was the last time I was here. I called him, and she said that, I told her that I was due to go to my doctor Thursday. And she said to go ahead and go to mine for insurance reasons, because she was afraid it wouldn't cover it, whatever. Go to mine, and then towards the end, like when my medicine was due, to call them back. Well, when I went to mine, because I go on a Thursday every week, it would have fell on Thanksgiving, so they gave me 2 weeks, so I had to tell them that. But then she told me to make sure I told them that, so that put me 2 weeks, even 2 weeks later, for that month, a week after Thanksgiving. Then,
So you haven't been?
well, but listen, okay.
Well, no, that's all I need to know. Bottom line, you haven't been. So I want you to go do a urine screen. We'll see what they
I will, and I've got all my screens from my doctor. I've been at my doctor for 9 years.
Go with
It's very hard to switch.
Go do a urine screen and come back.
I sure will. I'm glad to.
Brian Combs is here. 21615.
I got a report from OVP if you still want one.
I didn't
I
understand.
still have a report from OVP if you
Okay.
want one.
Well, I've got Mr. Mint here too. Okay, it's a good report, and looks like you continue to do what you need to do to stay clean and sober. Now, one thing I'm seeing, you did make a payment today. You got community service you got to do.
Yes, sir. My father-in-law lived in Tennessee, got diagnosed with cancer and passed away November 14th, so I've been out of town actually. But I know I still have 30 hours to complete.
Yeah, so let's get that done. You're doing really well. You still got to do the stuff that you're ordered to do. So when can you get out here and do some community service?
I should be able to start anytime.
I'm sorry, when?
I can start anytime.
Okay.
I mean, so I should have it done within.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Tomorrow would be great.
Okay.
Tomorrow at 7:30, be here at the court
Okay.
on the west side of the building.
Just outside?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to set your next review hearing for January the 16th. Now that's a Tuesday because the 15th is a holiday.
Okay.
January 16th, Tuesday at 9 o'clock. Okay, keep up the good work.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Angela DeHart. She's 23,681. Okay, it sounds like from what I'm reading between the lines here is you had a little trouble at first getting adjusted and now things are going better.
I did.
She did. She did. She's doing good now, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. And you're going to be finished,
On the 14th of this month, so they are still working on her aftercare plan though.
okay. All right, well, that's going to be important that you have a plan in place and continue to follow that. And I suspended your fine and your jail time as long as you are compliant and continue with your treatment.
Okay.
So far, so good. I want to see you in about a month, so let's make it the 12th of January.
Okay.
January 12th will be your next hearing, 9 o'clock.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you so much.
Andrea Ellis, 2207-74. Andrea Ellis is not here today, has not completed her case, so she will get a warrant issued today.
Called this morning, they didn't have a ride and wanted to be on soon, but John said no because
She was not here for the day of community service, she was working to be here.
Okay, she gets, she have a warrant issued then. Joshua Ellis, 08619. that's
Yes,
you.
sir.
Your Honor, if I may, he turned 14 hours community services this morning.
Okay, very good. Do you have any payment on your fines today?
I'll make one this morning, sir.
How much?
Probably 40.
Okay, I'll put you down for that. Continue, you're making progress each month. So continue to do that, and I'll set you for January 12th also.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Olivia Gilpin.
Thank you, Josh.
23-1291, 23-591, 592. She's at Bethesda. Okay. It says you're compliant, but still working on stuff, all right? Okay. That's why you're there, is to work on things. So
Yes, sir.
as long as you're making progress, that's what I want to see. Okay. And this, you are outpatient?
Inpatient.
Inpatient, okay. Well, then I don't expect you to pay anything on your funds or costs while you're inpatient. I'll set your next hearing for January 12th.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Keep working.
Yes, sir.
Kim Jones is here. Thank you for the balloons.
Yeah. Man, I had to break the monotony in this place. This is a dead-ass place right here, for real.
Thank you for that.
I had to brighten something up, man. I come in here and it's like you're in a funeral home, you know?
It is, we might take that up in Sonora.
There you are, hold a minute.
3291, 2111, 46, 2110, 57, 206, 2026, 86. And you did make a payment this month.
Thursday, yeah. I brought the balloons in. The day before, oh no, it's Thursday, then I brought the balloons in Friday.
Okay. We appreciate it. All right, your next hearing is going to be January 22nd.
January 22nd.
January 22nd, 9 a.m.
Okay. You know, it'd be nice if you give me a couple months, like 3 months at a time.
Yeah, well, I don't do that for anybody else, so I can't, just because you brought balloons.
Well, thank you, I appreciate it.
Jessica Leggett, Jared Nance, Austin Richard, Whitney Files, Sarah Centers, Benjamin Shepherd, Justin Taylor.
Jessica Leggett,
Yes.
211157. And did you complete admin degrees?
Yes, November 8th.
Okay. You still have some community service to do and fines to pay.
Yes.
When can you do community service?
I'm having some transportation issues, but I should be able to get there this week.
Where do you live?
Ironton.
You can do it in Ironton if you want. Two choices there. You can do it at a dog pound, or you can do it at the Ironton Municipal Court.
Okay.
Either one.
Okay.
So, and the dog pound you do any day, right?
7 days a week,
7
even
days.
on holiday.
Okay.
So just make sure they know to report it here, your hours. Do you have anything you're paying on your fine today?
I get paid today, so hopefully I can later.
How much?
$40.
Okay, that's what I'll put you down for. Get in here before 4, get it paid. Set your next hearing, January the 19th, 9 a.m.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Jared Nance, 220812. It's at RRS. Now outpatient.
Yes, sir.
Good drug screens. Has a job. Taking some classes for.
Yeah, I started nursing school in January.
Great, that's wonderful. Okay, that's an excellent report. Good job.
Thank you.
You did your community service too. You just have to pay your fines off. So, can you make any payment today?
Yeah, I got $50.
All right. See the clerk to make that payment. And yours is not as old as some of the other cases, so I'm going to set you for January 26th. 9 o'clock, January 26th.
Alrighty, thank you.
Thank you.
See the clerk. Austin Pritchard,
Yes, sir.
18-12-33 and 12-34. 18-35-25. And you're just paying off your fines, and it looks like there's some restitution is one of them.
Yeah, that's it.
Do you have a payment today?
Yeah, 40.
Are you still going to Lawrence County Recovery?
No, I completed about a month ago.
Okay. January 12th will be your next hearing, 9 o'clock. And you said you're paying 40?
Yeah.
Okay, see the clerk about that.
Thanks, sir.
You're welcome. Whitney Piles, 19-343. You're not Whitney though, are you?
Yeah,
You are Whitney,
it's
okay.
me.
Community service done. Fines are left to pay. You have a payment?
Yes,
How much?
20.
Okay, see the clerk to make that payment. January 16th will be the next hearing.
Great, thank
That's
you.
a Tuesday. Pay it off. You don't have that much left. Pay it off. You don't have to come to these hearings anymore after you pay it off.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Sarah Sinners, 12991. She hasn't done anything on her case. Okay, we'll get a warrant for failure to appear. Benjamin Shepherd, 213595. He's done his community service, but hasn't finished paying his fines.
He's
so-
here, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. Didn't see you come in. All right. So you just have to make payments. Do you have a payment today?
Yes, sir.
How much?
I can do 25.
All right, see the clerk to make that payment. January 19th is your next hearing.
Thanks, sir.
Pay it off, and you can quit coming.
All right.
Justin Taylor, 23-385. has completed his community service, has not completed his fine, hasn't appeared, so there will be a warrant issued for failure to appear. Okay, that finishes the reviews. We're going to do the new cases, and those hearings are called the arraignments. That's what the first appearance on a criminal case is called. The purpose of an arraignment is to tell you the charges that you're facing. The prosecutor makes those decisions. I don't decide what you get charged with, and the charges may not be true. It's not my job to charge people. My job is to judge the case once it's presented to me. So you need to understand what you're facing. You don't have to agree with it, but you need to understand it. So the purpose of this hearing is to make sure you understand what's been filed, what the possible penalties are. You have the right to remain silent. You don't have to say anything before the court. If you choose to make statements, what you say is all being recorded, is on the record, we call it, and can be used against you. So I have people get up and the first thing they say is, yeah, I did it. Well, if you say that, the prosecutor can use that against you. Legal admissions are a big deal in the law. If you have to admit that you did it, they don't really have to prove it then. You've already admitted that you did it. You have a right to have an attorney. You have a right to have one appointed if you can't afford one. You have a right to bail and to make the state prove the charge against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Call the first case.
State of Ohio versus Logan E. Roberts. Case number TRC 23-1806, A and B.
You're Logan Edward Roberts?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Roberts, it's alleged that on December the 8th at 12:26 a.m. in Fayette Township, you were driving a vehicle while you were under the influence of alcohol. State's alleging you took a test, a breath test, and tested 13 on a breath test. So, and it's alleged to be your first time you've been charged with this offense. So on a first offense, the maximum penalty you face, it's a first-degree misdemeanor. The maximum is 6 months in jail, $1,075 fine, and a 3-year license suspension. That's the most the court can impose if you're found guilty. There's a minimum. So there's a floor. I can't go below if you're found guilty. The minimum I can give you if you're found guilty is 3 days in a treatment program, a $375 fine, and a 6-month license suspension. The test score that you have of 13, I'm going to explain to you what that means under Ohio law. There's what's called a per se level under Ohio law, where it's presumed you're impaired if the state can show compliance with the rules for giving the test. There are certain things they have to show, like calibration of the machine and that sort of thing, to get the presumption. And that is 8. So a test score of 8 or higher, there's a presumption, or can be a presumption that attaches to that, that you were impaired. And they're saying you tested 13, so obviously that's higher than 8. You're also charged with failure to control your vehicle. That's a minor misdemeanor, jail time. Maximum penalty is a $150 fine. So you have 2 charges. Do you understand them?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand the rights you have as a defendant?
Yes, sir.
How do you wish to plead to these charges?
Not guilty.
You want a lawyer appointed to represent you.
Yes, sir.
Are you working?
Yes, sir.
What do you do?
Work at Olive Garden currently.
Are you paid by the hour?
Yes, sir.
How much per hour?
About 14 or 13.
How many hours a week?
Probably about like 30.
I'm sorry?
Probably about 30.
30 hours? How long have you worked here?
Since May, so about a year.
Okay. Well, I'm getting you're making about $21,000 a year gross, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any dependents?
No, sir.
Okay, you're a single person?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, you actually make too much money as a single person for me to appoint a lawyer for you, so you'll have to hire one. How much time do you need to hire a lawyer?
I'm not too sure, honestly.
Okay, well, I'm going to go out 3 to 4 weeks. So let me look at the calendar of the court and see when would be the best time to have you come back. And it's your you can adjust your schedule. If I give you a particular day, you can get off that day to come to court.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to set it for the 16th of January, so that's a Tuesday. January 16 at 10 a.m. will be your next hearing. It's called a pretrial. I've entered a not guilty plea for you. And I'm going to let you sign a $1,500 signature bond. And what that means is you're signing a piece of paper that says, I promise to come to court as ordered by the court, and I'll pay a $1,500 penalty if I don't show up. Plus you get a warrant. You get a warrant when you don't show up, plus then you'll have to pay the $1,500. As long as you come to court, you won't have to post any money.
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
And you are under an audit, what's called an automatic license suspension. When you take the test and test over the per se level, an automatic license suspension goes into effect. Any questions about that?
No, sir.
Okay. January 16th, 10 o'clock is your next hearing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio recalls Shawna Bragg, case number CRB 23680.
Well, we still have a problem.
Yeah, and I don't know why, because I've not done nothing. Nothing.
Well,
That's why it has to be again.
but you tested for it the last time.
Yeah, no, that was my first relapse in 12 years.
Well, it's, what you're testing for, methamphetamine.
Would it just stay in me this long?
I don't think so. A month?
But I had screens from the doctor
Here's the thing.
in the lab.
You've got no excuses, no more excuses. You've got to get to ARC treatment, or I'm going to have to put you in jail or into an inpatient treatment program.
Well, I talked to my doctor, and I didn't get to see her. I got to see her the last time, and I told her that I had just explained it all to her, and she said that if I went to ARC, that she would take me back at the end. So that made me feel a little better. I just didn't want to switch.
Because you're in an MAT program, right?
What's that?
Medically assisted treatment.
Oh, yeah.
You're taking buprenorphine.
Yes, and then,
It doesn't do anything for methamphetamine.
I don't do meth. That's why I don't understand why it's still in there.
Well, if you take anything off the street that somebody hands you in this community,
I mean, I did it one
they will
time.
have methamphetamine in it.
I did it one time, the last time I was here, or that weekend, prior to being here.
Okay. I want to see you back pretty soon, but I want a report next time that you've been to ARC. So let's see you on the day after Christmas, December 26th.
Okay.
I don't think there's anybody from ARC here today, is there? I haven't seen anybody.
I called Ashland, but
Yeah.
would it be
fine.
better to go to the one in Ohio? Where's the one in Ohio?
There is, I don't know, that it's a Kentucky, you're Kentucky
Is it all?
Medicaid, right?
Oh, that's when I'd have to do that.
Yeah.
That's fine. She just didn't make no sense.
You have to go to ARC because you have Kentucky Medicaid.
Yeah, I got you.
Be back here the day after Christmas at 9 o'clock and give me a report that you've been to ARC then.
I will now, I mean, but
I
I
want you
thought,
to call them immediately, as soon as you get out here, go call them.
I honestly thought I was gonna be clean and show you all my clean screens, and I don't get it.
But you're not.
But I haven't done nothing. That's what blows my mind. But do you need to see that I'm on Xanax?
No.
Because I am prescribed it.
I'll take your word on that.
Oh, let me write this.
You're testing dirty for meth, that's what concerns me.
Yeah, it concerns me too, because I have not done it. I don't care if anybody.
December
thinks I'm
26th is your next hearing,
I'm not making
9 o'clock.
26.
Yeah, the day after Christmas.
I had to say to my head.
So that's 2 weeks and 1 day.
State of Ohio versus Hayden K. Fields.
Thank you, sir.
Case number CRB 23685. Caden Fields.
You're Caden K. Fields?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Fields, have you received a copy of the charge?
Yes, I have.
Okay. It's a menacing charge. It alleges that at Perry Township on November 2nd of this year, you would cause Dakota Walls to believe you would cause physical harm to his person or property. That's a menacing charge. The maximum penalty for that is 30 days in jail, $250 fine. Do you understand the charge?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand your rights?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead to this?
Not guilty.
You want a lawyer appointed?
Yes, sir.
Do you have a job?
No, sir.
Are you a student or what do you do?
I'm in 12th grade.
Okay. Where do you go to school?
Nowhere at this moment. I got kicked out of Collins, but I'm re-enrolling in South Point High School.
All right, Mr. Smith, I'll appoint you
Yes,
to
sir.
represent Mr. Fields. I'm entering a not guilty plea.
Yes, sir.
All right, is there a protection order
Yes, sir.
requested? Is there any problem for you to stay away from Dakota Walls?
No, sir, it is not. It was,
Don't say that, just
Yeah.
say you can stay away.
yeah, okay.
You don't live together or under the same roof or anything like that?
No, sir.
Okay, so I'm ordering, I don't want there to be another alleged incident while this case is pending. So I'm ordering you not to go around Dakota Walls, not to text, call, post things about him on social media. Just, I want things to die down.
Yes, sir.
And then, Mr. Smith, what's your schedule in January? Well,
I'm here the 8th, 12th, 16th.
can we get a time waiver?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Okay. Let's do the 12th
I can do that.
with a time waiver. January 12th will be the next hearing for a pretrial, 10 o'clock. And I highly recommend that you get re-enrolled in school, Mr. Fields.
Could you repeat that?
I say I recommend that you go get re-enrolled in school.
Yes, sir.
I should bring that paper to you. Thank you, Judge.
All right, January 12th, 10 o'clock is the next
Yes.
hearing.
State of Ohio versus Tyler M. Kemper Jr., case number CRB 23630. Tyler Kemper Jr.
Tyler Kemper. We need Mr. Thompson to come in the courtroom, please. Mr. Thompson. Mr. Thompson, this is your client, Tyler Kemper. It's alleged he missed a hearing last Monday for pretrial. I'm assuming you haven't talked with him today.
I have talked with him.
Oh, okay. So you ready to proceed on this today?
Yes, we've talked to the prosecution. What we'd like to do is continue this a couple of weeks and have him assessed for AOD
Okay.
and come back.
Any explanation for missing last week?
Just didn't have a ride.
Do you live in South Point?
Yes, sir.
We'd like to have him assessed today if there's one of the agencies that could do that.
Do you have,
Well,
how
they
do you
don't-
pay for medical services?
I got Medicaid.
Ohio Medicaid?
Yes, sir.
And you live in South Point?
Yes.
Mr. Gwynn, you want to talk with him?
Yes.
Okay, I've got someone for you to talk to about getting an assessment done, and then come back.
We can come back in a week if makes sense.
I don't, let me check that. I may not want to set it that day. Yeah, I don't want to set it on the 8th.
Okay.
I could do the 26th. That's a Tuesday, though. Can you be here then?
I can't. Can we just do early then, January?
January 1st, or, well, January 2nd, or the 8th.
The 8th, please. Is that a Monday?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
January 8th
January
will be
8th.
the next hearing. See Mr. Gwynn from RRS before you leave today.
So you have to wait. Okay. All right, thank you.
State of Ohio versus Jeremy Alexander, case number TRC 21, 1967, A and B.
All right, you Jeremy Alexander,
Yes, Your Honor.
you had a review hearing a week ago.
Yes, sir. I was out of town.
Okay, you've paid your fines off, you just have to finish your community service.
Can you tell me what time on Sundays to be at the dog pound?
You will have to call the dog pound and get it set up with them.
Okay. Because Saturdays is kind of a bad day for me. My boss has really been riding me pretty hard about working, so.
Okay, you can do Sundays at the dog pound, just set it up with them, make sure they report the hours to us,
Okay.
so you'll get credit for it. I'll set your next hearing January the 19th. If you finish it up by then, you don't have to come back.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Cancel any, I don't think a warrant had been issued, but cancel.
State of Ohio versus Austin D. Pauley, case number CRB 21-246, A and B, CRB 2262.
It's Mr. Steyer's case. Looks like Mr. Pauley missed a hearing previously.
He was gone, well, he was not here on, looks like she goes back to October, it looks like.
October 23rd.
He contacted me this weekend, and I explained that he needed to appear at his first opportunity on a court date, we would get him in front of the court and asked to have the warrant withdrawn. He also has a matter, I think there was a felony matter that went on to the grand jury, but I think there's also something pending here.
All right, does he have an explanation for missing before?
On the 23rd of October, I was actually in the hospital. I don't have any documentation with me to prove that, but I'm sure I could get something emailed to me.
How long were you in the hospital?
A whole day, one day.
Well, a lot of days have passed since October 23rd.
Right.
Is there a pending case too? I've got,
I'm not sure if anything is actually still pending.
what I'm showing is 21-246, 22-62. It's EY, L-E-Y.
The 21-246, is that what you said? You have?
What about 22-737? Oh, that's the one that went to the grand jury.
Yeah, I think.
2262 I have, and these have both been pled to.
Right, I think that what's left here at this point, Your Honor, was post-conviction. And that the matter that was new has gone on to the grand jury.
Does he have any payment on his fines?
I do not, I can make one this week, though.
I'll set your next hearing January 8th for a review.
So we're just gonna go on to the regular review docket?
Yes.
Thank you.
Withdraw the warrant.
State of Ohio versus Sean White, case number CRB 2488, CRB 06471A.
You're Sean White?
Yes, sir.
Mr. White, it's alleged you missed a review hearing March 17th of 21 on a theft offense and a bad check charge, and it looks like you got arrested on it and had to post a bond.
Yes.
All right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have any explanation for missing your hearings previously?
No, sir.
Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put you on the sentencing docket. So here's what I'm showing that is still outstanding. You've got 30 hours community service, $285 in fines and costs on the theft offense, and on the bad check charge, it was $601.29. And over $400 of that is restitution, so the rest would be fine. So now if you don't show up, you'll have a bail bondsman looking for you.
Yeah.
Before, if you don't show up, I just send it to the warrant, or the sheriff. He's not gonna go look for anybody. Maybe I shouldn't tell people that, but he's gonna wait till you have police contact. Then you're gonna go to jail, rather than say, you get pulled over for speeding. Well, you're not just gonna get a ticket. You're gonna go to the Hooskow, because you got a warrant. But when you got a bail bondsman, Mr. Sowards in particular is very good at it. He posts a $1,500 bond. If you don't show up, he's got to pay the court $1,500. He does not like to pay the court $1,500. He will go anywhere to get somebody to avoid paying $1,500. So he will come and snatch you up and throw you in the car and take you to the jailhouse if you don't come to court. So, and he'll do it within a few days. It's not like the sheriff, where you were out and about for a couple of years before you got snatched. He's not going to wait a couple of years. He's going to wait a couple of days maybe, but that's going to be it. So you have to be looking over your shoulder all the time, or I don't know where you could go to avoid him. South America maybe. Nowhere in the tri-state. Or, I mean, we've had him go to Georgia and other places to get people, so he will come and find you. Do you have anything you can pay toward your fines and costs today?
Yeah, $20.
Okay, see the clerk and make your payment. I'll set him on the sentencing docket. January 16th. So write that down, January 16th, which is a Tuesday, not a Monday. You've got a sentencing hearing at 10 o'clock.
All right.
See the clerk to make your payment.
State of Ohio versus Caitlin McClaskey, case number CRB 23741.
And ma'am, you are Caitlin McClaskey?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. McClaskey, it's alleged that on December the 9th in Fayette Township, you purposely deprived Walmart of property without their consent. That's a first-degree misdemeanor carries a maximum penalty of 6 months in jail, $1,000 fine. It's a theft offense. You understand the charge? You understand the rights you have as a defendant? How do you plead to this charge?
Not guilty.
You want a lawyer appointed?
Yes.
Do you have a job?
Yes.
What do you do?
I'm a barista.
Are you paid by the hour or tips? How do you work?
By the hour.
How much per hour?
$10.
Okay, you're qualified for court-appointed counsel then. I'll appoint Mr. Steyer to represent you. Entering a not guilty plea for Ms. McClaskey. She has a bond up. So that bond is continued. I'm looking in January, Mr. Steyer, for pretrial dates, and just about any date in January will work. Do you have a preference?
Are Mondays or Fridays better for you? Does that matter? Other than the 12th, I'm open on Mondays and Fridays in January, so if there's a date that's best for the court.
Let's make it the 8th, January 8th. Be a pretrial January the 8th at 10 a.m. Not guilty plea is entered. Okay, we may have some more arraignments that are being worked on. We don't have the paperwork yet, so we're going to start the pretrial. So we need a lawyer. The lawyers and the prosecutor and anyone that's got a pretrial needs to be in the courtroom now.
State of Ohio versus Carla Eldred, case number CRA 23724. Your Honor, information I have indicates she has turned herself in.
Okay. All right, I have a notation that Ms. Eldred did turn herself into Pike County before this morning, so the case here will be dismissed.
State of Ohio versus Ernest R. Colgrove, case number CRB 23336.
Mr. Delauder's case set for pretrial.
Your Honor, if it please the court, we had a lengthy conversation with the alleged victim in this matter over the weekend, and what we have here is a situation in which Mr. Colgrove is residing, cohabiting with a lady that lives adjacent to condominium property. And the condominium association as a whole has an interest in the behavior of Mr. Colgrove with respect to some trespassing issues. However, that's not what's before the court. What's before the court is an incident that took place within the context of the ongoing trespassing issues. We don't have that trespassing charge before the court. What we have is a menacing charge. So we've determined that based on the fact that it would be difficult to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt because there were just two people there, the victim and the perpetrator, that we're not going to go forward with that charge. We're going to dismiss that charge. But we want Mr. Colgrove to know that the issue of blocking the right-of-way of the condominium association or parking in any part of a vehicle on their property is an act of criminal trespass as far as they're concerned, and that the board as a whole will review any further acts of this nature and determine whether they want to file a report with the law enforcement authorities. And we believe that there's a history of this that shows that this is intentional. It's behavior that is to goad the individuals and to bully them, and we are not going to stand for it any longer. So he needs to obey the property rights of the people in the condominium association. It's not just one person. He thinks maybe it's just one person, but it's not. It's more than one. It's a bunch of them. And he doesn't own any property there. He just lives there with the person who owns the property. So we're taking this very seriously. Just want to put that on the record.
Anything you wish to say, Mr.
We don't have any objection to the dismissal, Judge. I've talked to Mr. Colgrove about trying to make sure he doesn't park in the easement there, and he understands that. Assures me that won't be an issue.
All right, the case will be acknowledged.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Christopher Hagerman, case number CRB 23716, CRB 23691, CRC 191630 A, B, and C, TRD 23418. Christopher Hagerman.
Well, he texted me a moment ago and said he was at court.
All right, it will be recalled later in the docket. He's been called and he's not appeared in the courtroom.
State of Ohio versus Donna L. Wilson, case number CRB 23635.
Judge,
This is Mr. Delauder's case set for pretrial.
Judge, I've talked to Jasmine with the prosecutor's office on this case, and you need help here. You good? It's my understanding the state's agreeable to set this case out till about March and take a look to see if there have been any other issues at that time. I had suggested to Jasmine the date of March 11th. I didn't talk to Mr. Hill about that date specifically or the court, but that's about 90 days out.
All right, with the time waiver?
Yes, sir.
All right. Be a time waiver, cases rescheduled for March the 11th of 24. I know the pretrial may be dismissed then if there's been no further problems, in my understanding.
That's correct, Your Honor. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
What was the time? Yeah, 9 o'clock. Hey, I'll call you here in a minute.
State of Ohio versus Courtney Hampton, case number CRB 23587 A, B, and C.
This is Mr. Delauder's case set for pretrial.
Judge, we'd like to get a bench trial date on this case.
Is there any time problems here?
No, no, there aren't. It's an assault case, and if there are, we'd waive time constraints.
Is this a trial to the bench or to the jury?
Bench.
Okay, we could do the 8th of January, 22nd of January, 26th of January.
Can we do the 22nd of January?
Does that work for the state too?
As far as I know, Your Honor, we have, I don't know how many witnesses, but probably 3 or 4, and we'd have to make sure that they're available on that day.
Yeah, well, if there's a problem, then just file a motion for continuance. January 22nd will be, no, pre-trial, it's been pre-tried enough, I guess.
Yes, although I'm going to have Ms. Hampton be here early on the 22nd, just in case there's some opportunity to get it resolved on that day.
Well, I'll set it for noon.
Okay.
At trial.
All right.
If you want to be here to pre-try early, it'd be a good idea, probably.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Judge.
Noon on January 22nd.
Thanks, Judge.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Samuel Julian, case number TRC 2398 A and B.
Mr. Delauder's case for pre-trial today.
It is, Judge, and I talked to Mr. Hill about this one yesterday. We don't have discovery complete yet in this case, so Mr. Hill's got a proposed entry resetting this case so I can obtain discovery.
What's the date you wish to continue to?
I think January 22nd.
22nd.
Yes, sir.
waive time?
Yes, sir.
All right, finished request, case is continued to January 22nd for a pretrial at 10 a.m.
Thank you, Judge.
You are.
State of Ohio versus Jonathan R. Mays, case number CRB 23518. Jonathan Mays. Did not check in.
Judge, you might recall, we had a hearing a couple weeks ago on this. Mr. Mays is in the STAR program, and we did not anticipate his attendance today. I've talked to Mr. Hield about it. It's my understanding the state, given the entirety of the situation, is intending to dismiss this case with the right to refile it if it becomes necessary in the future. I think Mr. Hield's got an entry prepared.
Yes, it is correct, Your Honor, and I don't have an entry yet.
So it'll be nollied then.
Thank you, Judge.
Case will be nollied, which means it has dismissed with the right to refile under appropriate circumstances.
May I approach, Judge?
Yes.
We have prepared an entry for that.
Okay. All right, your entry is approved.
State of Ohio versus Micah Mayo, case number CRB 23460, TRC 231042, A, B, and C.
It's Mr. DeWaters' case, pretrial.
Judge, based on my discussions with Mr. Hield, in this case, it's my understanding that Mr. Mayo intends to enter a guilty plea to the charges that are pending. As part of the recommended sentence in this case, Your Honor, the only unusual thing is Mr. Mayo doesn't live, he lives in Columbus. So we're going to be requesting that his probation be non-reporting or telephone reporting so that he doesn't have to, this is a first offense OVI.
Well, he won't have to report until probably be June, but if, I mean.
Well, he'll get everything done by then.
If he has it all finished, but then he doesn't have to show up. So.
Yeah, thank you, Your Honor, that'd be fine.
All right, so there is a change of plea to, I've got a speed, OBI, and turn signal.
That's correct,
And
Judge.
I think there was maybe a possession.
There was
marijuana?
There was I think a marijuana charge, but I thought Mr. Hill maybe was going to dismiss that one.
Okay, so that's 23,460. The state's willing to nollie that. 23,460 is nollie. He's pleading to the traffic charge. 1042 A, B, and C. Is that correct, Mr. Mayor? Do you have any statement you want to make, or Mr. Lauder, anything you want to say to the court before I do sentence?
No, Your Honor. This is like Mr. Hield, I think it indicated this is a first offense OVI. There's nothing egregious about the situation. It was there wasn't any alcohol involved. It was alleged that he had ingested marijuana, and then the lab results were.
My inquiry as to what the urine screen showed.
The lab results were confirmatory for that.
Okay. All right, we'll start with the OVI. Then I'll impose a $400 fine. Order you to pay the court costs. You'll have a 6-month license suspension, and that starts today. He did not have an automatic license suspension because he did not have a test score immediately accessible, so it doesn't start till you plead then. 20 days in jail, which I'll suspend all those days on the condition that you do 5 days community service. You can do your community service in your home area. You have to do it. You can do it, I don't know if they'll let you, because other courts will let our folks come there and do work on their community service program. Some of the other local courts, I'm not sure if it's a different animal, Franklin County, but if they'll let you do it there, fine. Go to some other legitimate charitable organization if they won't. Get us something on letterhead where you did 30 hours of volunteer work, and we'll accept it.
Okay.
Since you're living in Columbus. You have to go to the driver intervention program. You'll see on your entry it says DIP. That's what that stands for, driver intervention program. That's required. I'm sure there's multiple driver intervention programs in Columbus. It has to be one approved by the state of Ohio, just make sure it's an Ohio-approved driver intervention program. He asked to have a review hearing on June 10th of 24. June 10th of 24 is his review hearing. I'll allow you to have a permit for work, community service, to come to court. To go to the driver intervention program. On the speed offense, I'll impose a $30 fine. On the turn signal violation, a $10 fine. He's to see Mr. Major in the probation office, and he'll give you everything I just told you is going to be on a judgment entry. He'll give you a copy of it.
Okay.
Any questions?
No, Your Honor, I'll have him see probation before he leaves.
Yeah, go to probation, then after that, you're free to leave.
Thank you, Your Honor. Take it with you, because that's your review hearing date. I'll be out there in just a minute.
State of Ohio versus Jet Porter, case number TRC 231143 A and B.
Mr. Waters case, this is a pre-trial on a motion to suppress.
It is, Judge, and we got the motion filed today. I've talked to Mr. Hill vaguely, or roughly, about the issues generally in the case. What we'd like to do, rather than, if it's possible, what we'd like to do is have one more pretrial before scheduling this for a evidentiary suppression hearing. Mr. Heald has a proposed entry suggesting January 22nd as a date, but we haven't asked you yet. So,
what are the issues that you wish to bring to the court?
So they primarily revolve around the field sobriety test. Mr. Porter actually, there were no clues indicated on one of the tests. On one of the tests, there were a couple of clues, but the HGN test, there were allegedly several clues, and we do not believe that it was performed or instructed accurately.
Okay. Is there any issues on probable cause for stop?
There could be issues on probable cause for the stop too. The allegations in the ticket, I think, are that Mr. Porter drove over the yellow line twice. On the video, it's not evident that he did that. I don't know what the officer is likely to say on those issues. So I expect what will happen is Mr. Heald and I may have a discussion with the officer prior to the next hearing to see what his take is on those issues. Now, in the motion, we did preserve that, but I don't know what the officer's testimony is likely to be. So.
All right. When do you want to do this, the next pre-trial?
We're requesting that it be set on January 22nd.
January 22nd with a time waiver.
Yes, sir, we've waived time.
Pre-trial on motions.
Another issue we'd like to address also, Your Honor, being very familiar with this brand of motion that's quite frequently filed. One of the issues that's always brought up, but it's never actually made it to a hearing, is the state's obligation to prove to the court that the testing procedures on the machine were done accurately. And I believe what that involves is the necessity of the state coming up with the properly certified records that show that the machine was in working order on that at that time and going back 2 years or whatever. We can certainly subpoena those records from the state of Ohio if that's going to be required, or, I mean, that...
I understand those are available on a website now or something?
They are. They are.
You can go back and get all that stuff online.
And generally what we do in the discovery is point them to that website. The issues have never actually yielded any contest at all, but yet our obligation, according to the case law, I believe, is to at least prove, it's kind of like when you do the field sobriety test, we've got to prove that we know what we're doing when we do the field sobriety test.
Judge, I talked, on this particular case, I talked to Mr. Hill about this morning. We're not requesting at this point that he do all that.
Okay.
And I don't care to state that for the record. Now, if it becomes an issue and there's something that I need in the future that I cannot get, I'll advise you and I'll advise Mr. Hill, and we'll go from there.
All right, this matter is continued to January 22nd for another pretrial.
Thank you, Judge.
10 o'clock.
State of Ohio versus Heather Blevins, case number CRV 23-158, PRC 23-261, A, B, and C.
This is Ms. Scott's case after
Yes, Your Honor.
pretrial.
Your Honor, I believe that there's been filed with the court and information to the court, which has also been supplied to the prosecutor, a certificate of completion for Ms. Blevins of all the obligations that we postponed this for. She had 2 more sessions to complete when we were last here. She has since completed those sessions, so I believe that we should be prepared for sentencing today, Your Honor, in accordance with our earlier discussions.
This is follows the first offense, is that understood?
It was the second.
Second?
Right, but there was an agreement to treat it as a first, Your Honor, and there would be a dismissal of the child endangerment.
Is the state satisfied?
Yes, actually, I haven't seen the latest report, but if it says that she's successfully completed,
Your Honor,
and if the court's satisfied with that, so, yeah, she was involved in a case in Kentucky. Yeah. So this is a case in which she had Child Protective Services case in Kentucky.
No. There was a note prior OVI in Kentucky.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, we wanted her to complete that program at Lighthouse or Lifehouse, whatever it is. And if so, we were encouraging her to do that, and we would be willing to recommend treatment as a first offense if she did that successfully.
Right.
And also,
Well, she also had charged against her driving under an OVI suspension. That's a jailable offense. So was there an agreement on that?
well, we may have overlooked that. And the prior was in 23, wasn't it? Was she still under an active suspension at the time? That's just something that's going to have to be resolved, and if it was an active suspension at the time, then obviously that's a mandatory 3 days in jail. The driving record that I have here looks incomplete.
Well, the officer in his narrative statement said that a police check showed she had a suspended license through Kentucky for an OVI conviction January 2023 with a requirement for an interlock, but she did not have an interlock system installed in the vehicle she was driving. That's in the narrative.
It was not her car she was operating at the time of this offense.
It's going to require 3 days in jail.
Okay. Does the defendant wish to be heard from on sentencing?
Well, Your Honor, I believe that when we were here on all the other discussions, I don't believe that that was ever discussed, Your Honor, so I'm not sure how to apply or how to respond to that. However, we did have a discussion that the child endangerment would be dropped. There was no discussion in regards to the driving under suspension, but I believe that my client has participated in the counseling. We have provided the completion form for that counseling. We've been here multiple times, and there was the agreement to treat it as a first offense. And she would be placed on probation for a couple of years, a 6-month suspension, and some community service and a $400 fine and cost.
Well, I think...
Without having any other discussion in regards to the driving under suspension, I don't know how to respond to that, Your Honor.
I mean, she's getting the benefit of the state agreeing to treat it as a first offense because there's a mandatory 10-day jail sentence, as you know.
Yes, Your Honor.
Second offense.
That's correct, Your Honor.
But that doesn't change the fact that if she was driving under a suspended license for a prior OBI, there's a mandatory 3-day jail sentence on that.
Yes, Your Honor. Can I have just a second with my client?
Ms. Scott, why don't you take Ms. Blevins out in the hallway and talk with her, and we'll recall this.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
State of Ohio versus Adam C. Reynolds, case number CRA 23448, CRB 23400. Adam Reynolds. I'll check in.
I've got Mr. Steyer in on this, the attorney on one case, and Mr. Thompson on another.
Yeah, this is that one. I guess you're the open dumping.
Yeah, I have him on an open dumping charge, and Mr. Thompson has him on a different charge.
Yeah, aggravated.
And he's not here on
No.
the free.
I don't have any information as to his whereabouts, Your Honor.
Neither do I.
He has 7 days. Well, one of these is a felony. I don't know if you want to take it to the grand jury or keep it here.
Yeah, we actually, I had an enforcement officer go out and check this morning to see if there had been any progress on the cleanup. There has not been, so we will nolly that charge to the grand jury.
Okay, so that's CRA 23448 is nollied to the grand jury.
And that's what I'm on.
That is your case.
And what remains is Mr. Thompson's.
Correct.
Thank you.
On 23400, which is Mr. Thompson's case, there will be a warrant issued in 7 days if Mr. Reynolds doesn't appear before the court in that time frame.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Dwayne Chabot, case number CRB 23663.
This is Mr. Steyer's case, pre-trial. Mr. Chabot is at Shawnee. Yes.
He does this to I'll ask him for a date and we'll go if we can. Yeah, we can get it on early January. No, we'll get with Dave. Dave Moore has available. Your Honor, discovery, I think, is complete in this matter. I took a look at the video. Mr. Hill took a look at the video. We have a little bit of a disagreement on what the video shows. I think at this point, a trial date is probably going to be necessary. So that's what I'm going to be seeking today, is a trial date.
And as I recall, you're not available the 12th, and that's the only date in January where you're not available?
It's the only day I'm not available, Your Honor.
I guess the 22nd is also, so we got 2 Mondays in a row that are out, or no?
The 15th is...
15th is the holiday.
The holiday. 22nd, I don't have anything down as a holiday.
Okay, how about the 22nd?
That'd be fine, Your Honor.
Set it for noon on the 22nd as a trial.
If you could get here earlier, that's helpful, because I can do some negotiations and that nature and get things done quicker. Okay. I'm sorry? Yeah.
State of Ohio
Thank you.
versus Todd Daniels, case number CRB 236930.
This is Mr. Thompson's case, 23693 withdrawn. Is Michelle Anderson here today?
Yeah.
Michelle Anderson, if you would come up, talk to the prosecutor, please.
I put myself in there as a way for anger, man. Yeah, and cocaine. But the nurse Brad gave me permission to use Delta 8 for sleep and anxiety. Other than that, I'm clean now. I guess 12 o'clock means it's church and Ashland. Once a week? Oh, no, it's every day.
Your Honor, I've spoken with Michelle Anderson, the alleged victim in this matter, and Mr. Daniels is, I'm told, is in treatment, and we want to get some details on that, but she wants him to do the treatment. Didn't ask her about a protection order.
There has been one issued, so unless she still wants one.
It can be dropped.
She says it can be dropped.
All right, and nobody's coerced you, ma'am, to say that? If this is voluntary, you want to drop the protection order?
Yes.
All right, at Ms. Sanderson's request, protection order is dropped.
Well, let's see how he does in his treatment. Where's he going to treatment?
Pathways.
That in Ashland?
We want in Ashland, yes.
And here's the thing too, I believe, if my memory serves me, that we've had this situation before. Is that right? So we take this very seriously. We want him to complete treatment, but if there's any further problems, we'll go forward with the charges.
We would suggest a 90-day cooling off period.
Well, going off, whatever.
Is that what the state's agreeing to?
We're tentatively agreeing to that based on Ms. Anderson's request. She wants him to get the treatment. We just, after we've been through this once before, we take a little different approach or different attitude towards it. There can't be any further problems.
Is Mr. West here? He texted me earlier about another case. Or there's some, oh, yeah, there you are. All right, would you confer with Mr. Daniels then? This gentleman is from Pathways. So, and Mr. Cooper, can you show him that? I'd like because sometimes people don't tell the treater exactly what the circumstances are to bring them to court. So if you would look that affidavit over, I'd like for you to read that so you can see what is alleged here. It's alleged there was a relapse, so that was part of the reason I think the charges got filed.
Anger management along with treatment?
Probably would, I think that would be appropriate. Would you like to have a copy of that affidavit? That's a public document if you want a copy of it.
Yes, please, yeah.
All right, we'll get that for you now.
Yeah. Now, you want an inpatient or outpatient?
No. He's already
What?
on.
He didn't ask you, Mr. Thompson.
I'm sorry.
It's not your call. I'm okay with starting with outpatient. Let's see how it goes.
Okay.
He's supposedly already in treatment with Pathways, so.
I am already in.
Let's come back. I want to see him before 90 days, though. I want to see how he's doing in treatment. So let's come back January 22nd. That's a Monday.
Thank you.
January 22nd for a pretrial.
I'll put him up. January 22nd. Yeah.
10 o'clock is the next hearing, January 22nd.
State of Ohio versus Lindsay T. Miller, case number CRB 23625.
This is Mr. Thompson's case set for pretrial.
Lance.
Your Honor, we filed for discovery. If we have it, it would have been, I haven't seen it yet, so I need a little more time to.
When can that be from me?
Well, I've got a copy of it here, so we'll make sure he gets a copy.
Do what?
I've got a copy here.
If we could just have 1 week, it would be fine.
I don't want to say.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
The 8th would be fine, January 8th. January 8th will be the next hearing at 10 o'clock.
I can't do that, sir. I have a job now. I can't. That's what I'm saying. I need to get this number to So what? I'll call you. You said that 3 times.
State of Ohio versus Paul Brackett, case number CRB 23740.
Your Honor, may I say something, please?
What?
I have, if you would like to look at them, a list of calls here.
I would not like to look at it.
I
That's what you have a lawyer for. This is not an evidentiary hearing.
I can't get a hold of my lawyer, that's the problem, sir.
Not true, absolutely not true. But
Well, why don't you
anyway,
folks go out and
We'll
talk, and then
handle
come
it,
back,
Your Honor.
and we'll decide if you want to put something on the record after you talk.
we'll handle it.
No.
Okay.
That's what I'm giving you instruction to do.
Okay.
Go talk to your client, and then come back, and then I'll decide what we're gonna do going forward.
Thank you.
Okay, so just wait in the lobby, man, he'll be out as soon as we do this last hearing.
Yes, sir, thank you.
This new charge.
State of Ohio versus Paul Brackett, case number CRB 23740, CRB 23573, CRA 23570.
So I'll explain to you last time. So what we're going to do is we're going to print this off first.
All right, this was set for a trial today on 23-573 and 574. There's now a new case filed, 23-740, on failure to confine a dog, and there's been a discussion about that. Do you want me to read the charges into the record?
No, sir.
You waive that?
Yes.
This is an M4, so this is a more serious charge. It carries a maximum penalty of 30 days in jail, $250 fine. There's also a felony pending.
No, that was resolved. That was an open dumping case, and I believe he already pled to a misdemeanor. I believe.
I don't have anything, let's see. There's nothing on the record that he pled. It's still pending.
Well, he did clean up the objectionable stuff on the property. So we would agree to treatment as a misdemeanor littering charge.
You have that section number?
Yep.
We'll change our plea to that,
To what?
to guilty
Is that correct?
of the misdemeanor.
Is that correct, Mr. Brockton?
Yes, sir.
$3767.32.
3767.32. 37. 3767. Yeah, that should be correct. 32.32, right? Okay, that is, it's an M3 littering. Was there a recommended sentence on it?
A suspended sentence of 10 days in jail and a small fine.
You wish to be heard on sentencing?
I think the 10 days in jail is a little excessive.
Suspended.
I still think it's excessive, but other than that, we're fine.
You have a right to make a statement, Mr. Brackett, if you want to. You don't have to. Do you want to say anything before I sentence you on this littering charge?
No, I'm good, John. I cleaned it all up, John. The officer that was there that shot him for it, he come back and he looked at it and said it was all good. It was all cleaned up good.
Okay, I'll impose a $50 fine, or you pay the court costs, 10 days in jail, all suspended. So that would only be imposed if you allow it to become a problem again. I'll make it a level 5 probation, 2 years with a review hearing on June 10th of '24. You'll need to see Mr. Major in the probation office. All you have to do is pay your fine and costs and not allow any trash to build up on the property. That's what you're. Now, on the other cases, we're going to continue those for another day. What date?
Well, I would suggest February 12th, unless that's too far out for you.
Mr. Hill?
Well, we're not opposed to that. What I would like to express to the court the reasoning and the purpose of this charge. There are different sections under the dogs running at large statute, and particularly ones that designate a dog as a dangerous dog. And under the statute that we have this filed, if there are 3 separate instances of the dog running at large, then that dog can be designated a dangerous dog. So this is going back in time to the same time period that we have the first incident that we charged where the horse was killed. But this is interestingly enough, killing a horse is not enough to raise the charge to anything above a minor misdemeanor. But being a persistent nuisance to the other neighbors can, and so that's what we filed this charge on, because we think it's serious enough. What we're seeking ultimately is that the dog would be forfeited to the county dog warden, not necessarily to be destroyed, but to be properly managed so that it would no longer create a nuisance and a danger to other people's property and persons. So that's really what we're seeking in this case. And if he'd be willing to agree to that today, to a forfeiture of the dog, we would agree to have him plead to the minor misdemeanor count that was already pending.
You need some time, Mr. Thompson?
I guess.
We'll agree.
Do you want to take some time, Mr. Brackett, to think about this?
No, I'm good, Your Honor. I'm good with all this. I just want to get it over with.
All right, so what I propose to do, let's hold the 23-740 in abeyance until we see if the forfeiture does take place, and then it'll be dismissed.
Well,
And he's going to plead to the minor misdemeanor.
the county dog warden already has the dog.
Oh, okay, so
So
we don't have to
that
worry about it.
effectively is done.
Okay.
But we would want to plead to the minor misdemeanor because any future events could elevate the charge with he has other dogs apparently.
Okay, so the minor misdemeanor is 23-574. There's been a guilty plea to that. Anything else, anything you wish to say, Mr. Brackett?
No, sir.
Okay, on that case, 23-574, I'll impose a $25 fine and court costs that order that the dog be forfeited to the county. And there was also a companion case to that, was failure to register. Do you want to do anything on that?
We won't honor that one, Your Honor.
Okay, 23-573 was a failure to register the dog. That'll be nolly. 573 is nolly. 574 is $25 fine. Ordered that the dog is forfeited to the county. And then 740 is nolly. 23-740 is nolly. So we've got several files. Let's make sure we got them all right.
Okay, 23-573 is
23-573 is nolly.
$1.
23-574 is a $25 fine and court
Yes,
costs,
and the
and dog is ordered forfeited.
And then I have
590, 23-590,
$50 fine, 1 10 days, already got that one done.
okay. And a review hearing on the 574 for June 10th. He'll need to meet with Mr. Major, level 5 probation.
One other thing I want to just note to the record, this did involve the death of the horse, but understanding that, first of all, it's a minor misdemeanor, and also the victim of this, Ms. Moore, understanding the circumstances, that she understands there are civil remedies for this, but we wouldn't be asking for restitution.
Okay. All right, that's all. Thank you. What was the case with Mr. Thompson that we're going to recall, because I don't see the file?
It is, hold on,
The lady,
Lindsay Miller.
right here it is.
that needs to go back up here.
State of Ohio recalls Heather Blevins, case number CRB 23158, TRC 23261, AB and C.
Your Honor, after discussion with my client realizes that she will be sentenced to the 3-day mandatory days in jail for the driving under suspension. We would ask that she granted a stay of execution until sometime in January so she can make arrangements with her employer.
Mr. Hill?
We're not opposed to that, Your Honor.
All right, when would she want to report? Would she want to come on a Friday? Does it matter if it's a weekend, or when does she want to do the 3 days?
A Friday would be good, yes, Your Honor. And does she report directly here to the court?
She comes here to the court. Yes, on the OBI is going to be treated as a first offense. When does she want to report? Which Friday in January?
Your Honor, I'll bring up my calendar here real quick. Could you report on the 26th of January, Your Honor, please?
All right, that's fine.
What time, Your Honor?
11 a.m.
11 a.m. Yes. And she does report here to the courthouse, correct?
Comes here to the court.
What day was she gonna report?
Well, I'm going to go through the entries.
Okay.
Okay, on the OBI, that's 23261A. Do you have anything you wish to say, Ms. Blevins, before I send it to you?
Nothing in addition, Your Honor. Thank you.
I would like to know what the urine screen showed. Do you have
Your Honor, I
that?
have that back in here.
There was a urine screen done.
There was. It was a alcohol and it was,
Alcohol and buprenorphine.
yeah, which she is prescribed.
And the alcohol was, the urine alcohol test, and it was .133.
Yeah, it was a low test.
All right, I'll impose a $500 fine. Order the court costs be paid. There'll be a 6-month license suspension, but that starts today. 20 days in jail suspended. So I have a review hearing on June 10th of '24 at 9 a.m.
And that is for the defendant only, not counsel?
Right,
Okay.
that's a review, it's a check to make sure she's done what she's ordered to do.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
30 hours of community service, 2 years of level 4 probation. I'll suspend the requirement for driver intervention program since she did counseling prior to today. She's already done some counseling, so that'll stand instead of the driver intervention program. Okay, so you can omit the Now, is she still under suspension from Kentucky, or what's the status of that?
Her suspension, she has the capability of getting her driver's license back in Kentucky.
Okay. Well, what I'll do here, I'm going to give her a permit. The way it works here, she can get a permit for work, community service, to go to court. She have other things that she needs emergency driving privileges for.
I believe you already given her a limited privileges
Well,
for
this is going to be a
the
new
children.
one.
Yeah.
This will supersede that.
Okay, so she has children, that she has
child
school
care.
and, yeah, child-related.
Child care now.
Okay.
We've never had too many problems, let us tell you this. You live in Kentucky, right? Or you got South
Yes.
Fork? In Ohio, I can do this judgment entry that says, yeah, it's going to go on the record with the B&B that you're suspended. Okay? And they're going to notify Kentucky. And I'm allowed to give you a permit to drive for certain circumstances. And that generally is accepted. The only place we've ever had a problem with this is in Kentucky. So, which is where you're going to be driving mostly, right? So here's the thing. I can't guarantee you that a judge in Kentucky is going to say, oh yeah, I'll go along with what that judge in some county in Ohio that I have no idea what their law is. Especially since you've got a prior in Kentucky. And I suspect they don't know about this one.
They do.
So, here's the thing that I would advise you. If you're going to drive, you better be careful. You better not be out late at night. You know, do the things you're supposed to do. Use your turn signal. Don't speed. Obey the traffic laws. It's not that hard to avoid being pulled over. Don't get pulled over because you're going to have some explaining to do once you get pulled over. You understand me? So it's just better to avoid that by not giving them what's called probable cause. They have to have a reason to stop you under the Fourth Amendment, which is speeding, too much window tint, whatever. Just do what you're supposed to do, and you can avoid all that and not have to explain why you have a driving permit and your license is showing up suspended from Ohio. Now, when that's over, your 6 months is over, it's not going to be, you know, I don't know what you'll have to do in Kentucky, but you'll probably have to do some stuff to get reinstated too. It just doesn't automatically go back to, boom, back, you get full driving privileges. You'll have to pay a reinstatement fee or do something, but you'll need to get in touch with the, what do they call it? Is it DMV, BMV, whatever in Kentucky to get your license back. Okay. So I think that's everything on your, it is everything on your OVI. Now on your driving under suspension, that's a mandatory $250 fine. That's the minimum. I'm giving you the minimum I'm allowed to give you when I give you a $250 fine. No court costs because I put them on the OVI. But I'm going to give you 15 days in jail, and I'm going to suspend 12. So if you don't show up on January 26th, it's not going to be 3 anymore. Now it's going to be 15 when you get arrested. So you got to come in. And same review hearing. It'll be level 4 probation. with a review hearing on June 10th of '24. January 26th, you gotta be here by 11 a.m.
Okay.
And you're gonna go talk to the probation officer today before you leave.
Okay. And the child endangerment will be nullied?
Dismissing the child endangerment charge.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio recalls Lindsay T. Miller, case number CRB 23625. Lindsay Miller.
Your Honor, we had a nice talk, and the January 8th is fine.
Okay, so she's left?
Yeah, but she's good.
All right, January 8th will be the next hearing, 10 o'clock.
Thank you.
We have some new case arraignments.
State of Ohio versus Travis Black, case number CRB 23743.
You're Travis L. Block, sir?
Yes, sir.
Were you here when I explained the rights of the defendants, or you want me to go over that with you?
I was here.
Do you understand it? Do you have questions about it?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm going to go over the charge to make sure you understand it. The charge that's filed against you is called aggravated menacing. It's a first-degree misdemeanor. The state's alleging that Fayette Township, on December the 10th of this year, you knowingly caused Larry Tickner to believe you would cause serious physical harm to his person or property. So that's an aggravated menacing charge. It's a first-degree misdemeanor. Maximum penalty is 6 months in jail, $1,000 fine. You understand the charge?
Yes, sir.
You understand your rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
How do you wish to plead to this?
No, not guilty.
You want a lawyer appointed to represent you?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Do you
Your
have a
Honor.
job?
Yes, Your Honor.
What do you do?
I work at Long John Silver's cook.
You're paid by the hour?
Yes, sir.
How much per hour?
$13 an hour.
Okay, how many hours a week do you work?
Anywhere between 27 to 40, usually mainly like between about 35, 36.
Do you have any children?
No, sir.
How long have you worked here?
I've been working there for about 9 months.
Do you have any money saved?
Not a whole lot, no, Your Honor.
Okay, well, you're right on the edge of eligibility for court appointed counsel. So I'll go ahead and appoint Mr. Morford to represent you.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
I'm entering a not guilty plea for you. You've got a bond up through Mr. Sowards. I'll continue. Is there a protection order requested?
Yes,
also?
Your Honor.
Okay. Is there any problem with you staying away from Larry Tickner?
No, sir.
I'm ordering you stay away from him. And also, in addition to staying away, I don't want you posting stuff about him. I don't want there to be anything that causes another incident. That's what I want to avoid. No other alleged incidents to happen. So stay away from him. Don't go around him. Don't text him. Don't post stuff about him. And then we'll come back to court for a pretrial. Is there dates in January that you're not available, Mr. Morgan?
No, Judge, I think I'm pretty free.
January 12th?
That's good, Judge.
January 12th will be your next hearing, Mr. Block.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
It'll be a pretrial at 10 a.m. on that day.
Yes, sir.
State of Ohio versus Kelly Arraignments, case number CRB 2366, A, B, and C, CRB 18326.
All right, Kelly, you're Kelly Mintz.
Yes, sir.
It's alleged you missed a review hearing back in October.
Yes, sir.
October the 6th.
Yes, sir. I usually did it on Blue Jeans, and I didn't know that
I didn't understand what you said.
Sorry, I live in Georgia, so I usually do court on Blue Jeans. I didn't know that it had switched to Zoom, so I had to drive up because I missed court.
All right, since it's been a while and you had a possession charge, I want you to do a urine screen today, so I see where you are. So
Okay, that's
go with Mr. Cooper, and he'll arrange for you to submit to a urine screen.
State of Ohio versus Dean Fields, case number CRD 23656.
Set for pretrial today.
It is.
Are you representing him, Mr. Gardner?
Yes, Your Honor. And there are actually two cases.
23715 also.
Yes. With respect to the domestic case, Your Honor, it's my understanding the state's agreeable to reset this for January 22nd. This involves Mr. Fields and his wife. They have a divorce pending that looks like it's going to get worked out, and it should help resolve these issues. However, all that's contingent on the other case, which is a theft case involving the folks at Lake Forest. And the state has requested in that case that Mr. Fields be restrained from going around Lake Forest property. So I've explained that to him. He understands that. He doesn't want to admit that he did, you know, what's alleged, but he does understand the request for a restraining order. I've indicated to Mr. Heald that I've talked to Mr. Fields about that. The only thing he needs to do is go get his mail today, which is, he doesn't have to enter Lake Forest property to get his mail. The mailboxes are outside the gate, but after today, he understands that, and he understands that we would be coming back and that would be in effect till January 22nd.
And can he make arrangements to get his mail from somewhere else?
He can try, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and he wouldn't have to go get it, but there's an important piece of mail in there today.
Mr. Heald?
Well, these agreements were reached between Mr. DeLauder and Mr. Anderson, so I'm following marching orders on this, and it's not really what I would have done today, but that's what we're going to do for the time being. And we're making no promises about how any of this is going to be resolved.
Okay. So
Yeah, we understand that too.
there's time waivers in both cases, then?
Yes, sir. I've executed a time waiver today, and Mr. Hill's proposed entry there.
All right, so January 22nd on both cases, at defendant's request, he's restricted from going on to the property at Lake Forest as a condition of his bond. I made a note of that.
Okay. Just a second. Is that all for Mr. Fields, Judge?
That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Christopher Haberlin, case number CRB 23716, CRB 23691, TRC 191630 A, B, and C, TRD 23418.
Judge, I don't represent Mr. Heberlin on his review hearings, although he did advise me that he had a significant payment to make today towards some outstanding fines. I don't know what the balance is.
500, there's 610 due.
He's got $500 to pay toward that on a $610 balance, he tells me.
No.
Okay, so how do you propose going forward then, Mr.?
Judge, on the two that are unresolved, it's a menacing case and a violating a protection order case. Jasmine has had communication with the complaining party this morning. What we're requesting jointly at this time is that this matter be reset. There's also a dissolution in the works here, but it hasn't started yet. So we want that to get accomplished, and we want to make sure that there are no further problems. So the state wants the protection order to stay in place at the complaining party's request, and we don't have any objection to that. I think all that can be done by January 22nd. I've set some other cases on that day. That's all right with you.
Okay, now, let's go back and make the record clear.
Okay.
He's got a prior OVI, case number 19-1630. He posted a bond on it for failure to appear back in March.
Okay.
So that bond I'm going to consider still in effect.
Okay.
So that's going to be set as a sentencing hearing. It's not really a review, it'll be sentencing. And that's what he's paying the $500 on?
Yes, sir. And Judge, for your information, he did attempt to make that payment prior to coming into court, but I believe he was advised that they needed to file back first, or he had to see you first.
Okay. And then, now, you may not be aware of this, there's another traffic matter pending, 23-418. It's unresolved. Now, it's a unclassified misdemeanor driving under suspension or failure to reinstate driving privileges.
Okay, I was not.
It's from April of 2023.
I was not aware of that charge. If you would let me, Judge, I will go ahead and volunteer to represent him on that also. I do need to get a copy of it, and I can talk to Mr. Heberlin about getting his driver's license back if there's a license issue.
He was arraigned on May 23rd.
Okay, and then maybe we can get all that resolved too on January 22nd.
Okay, so you're going to represent him on that?
I will, yes. I'll have to. I did not bring an entry of appearance on that, but I'll get one up here today.
Okay, it's 23-418 is the case.
Okay.
23-418. Then there's 23-691. That's a domestic violence. There's a protection order on that. No, I'm sorry. That's a menacing charge. 23-691 is a menacing. There is a protection order issued on that. That remains in effect.
Yes, and then there's a violating of the protection order case involving some text.
23-716 violation of protection order.
Yes, sir. And the complaining party wants that protection order to remain in place during the period of this continuance.
Okay, he's aware of that and will honor it.
Yes, sir.
All right, defendant's request cases, everything's then continued to January 22nd. Pretrial on the unresolved case, sentencing on the case of requested. So he'll need to see the clerk today to make payment on his own case.
Before we leave.
Yeah.
I'll have him do that now, Judge.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Judge, may I approach
With an interest rate.
Yes.
State of Ohio versus Dylan Hyden, case number CRA 22473, TRC 222096, A and B.
This is on the docket as a preliminary hearing. It's Mr. Morford's case. Mr. Hyden's been at Bethesda.
May I approach your honor?
Yes. Thank you. Okay, it's a good report.
Got the best one you've seen yet, isn't it, Judge?
Yeah, I'll read this to say, you're becoming a man, that's what I'm saying, rather than a kid. You acted like a kid a lot.
I know.
A self-entitled kid. Okay, you got people, you got a son, right?
I do.
Okay, well, you need to be an example to your son. So I think you're making the steps to go in that direction.
Thank you.
So let's keep working. January 12th,
That's good here, Judge.
January 12th, 10 o'clock. It's your next hearing. Keep doing what you're doing. You're on the right direction now.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well,
Thank you, Judge.
State of Ohio versus Ben Smith, case number CRB 23662.
Mr. Morford's case set for pretrial.
Did you come in and review the DVD?
No, I didn't know. No, I'm talking about it. I told you I didn't know.
What?
We come here all the time. I told you I didn't know. You come over and make 20 hours, 20 days. Suspended.
It's suspended.
You know my record. Yeah, I think so.
Judge, I believe we're going to have to change the plea.
What plea does he wish to enter?
Guilty.
Is that correct, Mr. Smith?
Yes, sir.
Anything you want to tell me?
Trying to do better.
Yeah, from what I'm reading, you are doing better.
Yes, sir.
It says you're building healthy relationships with your family.
Yes, sir.
What's that mean?
Well, my
Yeah,
son
kids.
works in many reasons, and he got his foot on my neck. He want me to do right.
Your son, you said?
Yeah, he's 23, he's going through addiction too, so he's working in many reasons for about 3 years now.
Okay. Well, it takes a while to restore some trust,
Yes, it does.
but you can do that. Your son wants to have a relationship with you, but he needs to trust you too. You've probably burned him some in the past, haven't you?
Possible.
So some of that, those guards will come down when he gets to the point where he feels like he can trust you to remain sober and not burn bridges.
Yes, sir.
Like you've done in the past. All right?
Yep.
That just takes time.
It will, I'll get there.
Okay. All right, anything you want to tell me before we go forward?
Yes, sir.
No? Okay. Okay, on your theft offense, $100 fine, which I'll suspend on the condition you complete treatment.
Okay.
Order you to pay the court costs. So now, you're in our municipal court too?
Yeah, I'm
Judge
in.
Waldo?
Yes. That was, before I caught this charge. He actually, I'm on probation, the misdemeanor probation, the complete program, but I done a week in jail over this theft too down there. For a
Okay.
violation, so.
But they're okay with what you're doing with Bethesda?
Oh, yes, I love this.
Okay.
It's a good program.
All right, I'm going to give him 30 days in jail, but I'm going to suspend all of it on the conditions you're compliant with treatment. And he's inpatient.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. I want to see you back, make sure you're doing what you're supposed to.
For sure.
Let's make it January 22nd. I'll see you then for another review. 9 o'clock.
Yes, sir. 9 o'clock goes to 10.
Yes.
Thank you.
It'll be 9, it's a review.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Zane Smith. Zane Smith, case number CRA 23559, CRB 23560, CRB 2340.
I'm doing good.
It's Mr. Morford's case, pretrial.
I wasn't able to get a report today. I wasn't because I started a new job.
He's attacked.
And my schedule fell on the day that I was supposed to be going to my appointment, and I wasn't able to get a report.
Judge, he was unable to get your report from this most recent scheduling time. He ended up having to go to work on that particular day. I believe he's going to make efforts to make sure that he goes to the next counseling session and brings a report to the court.
Absolutely. I just started a new job, sir, and my schedule was just randomly, it's been random, so I wasn't able to go to my appointment and get my report for you. I'm sorry
How
about
often
that.
are you going to that?
Once a week. This is the first appointment that I've ever missed. So.
Okay. Mr. Hill, do you have any input on this?
He has been consistent and had consistently good reports up to this point in time, so we believe that he'll have a report next time.
Absolutely.
And still be doing well.
January 8th? January 8th will be the next hearing, pretrial and preliminary hearing.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Hunter Tooley, case number CRB 23147.
Except for a pretrial today, Mr. Morford is the attorney. That path on. Yes, sir. they're saying he's gonna finish anger management in mid to late January. Do you want to give him that time to do that, Mr. Dean?
I believe so, Your Honor, yes.
Okay, let's come back, January 26th.
That's good here, Judge.
January 26th will be the next hearing, 10 o'clock.
Make sure you get this on. Okay. Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Jonathan Jones, case number CRB 22686, CRA 22685, CRA 23679.
Butch.
Mr. Steyer's case. How did this happen? Because the last order of the court was on November 27th, said he was to stay in RRS.
Your Honor, he left his staff advice on November 30th.
Is there an explanation for that, Mr. Steyer?
I lost like 6 outfits and a pair of shoes when I was in the hospital. When I came back, I was in the hospital for 4 days when I missed court last time over my heart, and then it's just I mentioned it to Jeremy, and then some of the guys walking around with my new Nikes on. So
You may recall, Your Honor, that when we initially at the outset of this case, he was hospitalized briefly prior to going in. I guess not prior. I guess he went to RRS and they sent him to the hospital. He was hospitalized for a few days and came back. When he got back, he did have some issues with staff, which we ended up having him in here one day on that, and I guess his situation didn't improve. And while this probably wasn't the best way to deal with it, I think getting into another place immediately is probably the second best way of dealing with it. So I would ask that the fact that he's been there for about a week now and seems to be successful at the moment.
I passed all my urine tests when I came in.
And he didn't fail any screens from when he was out between rehab, so I think that shows some seriousness, even if things weren't necessarily gone about in the way we would prefer.
Well, it doesn't actually say that, it just says that he will receive random screening. Has he received screens?
Yes, he has received some. He's been compliant. I just don't have no reports or anything on him right now.
I think I got one at 1 o'clock this morning, but I've passed, I think, 3 since I've been at Minden Reed.
Okay, well, since I don't actually have a screen, I want you to do a screen here.
Yes, sir.
Do a screen here for the board.
Yes, sir.
State of Ohio recalls Kelly Arraignments, case number CRB 2366 A, B, and C, CRB 18326.
Okay, it's an appropriate screen.
Yes, Your Honor. I've been in treatment for years. I've almost completed treatment. I'm weaning off of the Suboxone now. So before long, I'll be completely off of that as well.
Where are you going to treatment?
At a local place in Valdosta. I drove from Georgia. I left last night and drove up from Georgia.
Are you from here originally?
Yeah, before I moved, I was going to the Huntington Treatment Center in Huntington, and whenever I moved to Georgia.
That's the methadone, right?
They do Suboxone as well.
They do?
Yes, I think we talked about that.
You're the first person I've ever
I think we talked about that last
they got Suboxone there.
Yeah, I think we talked about that last time I was in here, when I was going there.
Why would you go there for Suboxone? There's a lot better places to go. I don't have much for that place, because they just give people whatever methadone they want.
Oh, wow. Yeah, see, I didn't know about the methadone.
Yeah, that's mostly the people I get.
I was always scared to
I
take
mean, I had a girl, well, she's gonna be here today. I think I see her. You look a lot better.
Yeah, I was always scared to take methadone because it I heard they
They just pass out methadone like it's candy.
Wow. Yeah, I've weaned all the way almost off of the Suboxone at this point.
Okay. All right, well, since you showed up on your own today, and you're living out of state, and you had a good screen, I'll let you appear by teleconference from now on. So go to probation, they'll give you, it's a Zoom link now.
Okay.
They'll give you the link, and what you've got left to do, you still have community service to do and fines to pay.
Yes, sir. Whenever I get my taxes, I'm gonna pay those fines off completely. I got my license taken care of last year, and, I haven't gotten any trouble or anything since, so this year, the only thing I have to pay off is just the fines that I had with you guys.
Okay, I'll set your next hearing, January 22nd. And I'm making a note that you can appear by teleconference.
Okay, thank you.
And that'll be at 9 a.m. You'll see Mr. Major in the probation office to your left as you go out in the lobby.
Thank
Go
you.
see him, get the link.
State of Ohio versus Keith Cooper, case number TRC 21-121A and B, CRB 21-288.
All right, this is set for sentencing today. Mr. Cooper paid a substantial amount on your fines.
Yes, sir.
Didn't you? You still have some community service to do.
Yes, sir.
And you've got a bond up now.
I believe
So I
that
understand you're looking for housing or what?
I'm in a bad situation right now. Me and my girlfriend, we was together for a long time, and we got a place over in Huntington, and we ended up splitting apart and stuff. And so I gave her my apartment so that way my daughter had a roof over her head. And I talked about her about staying there with her and stuff, but she had already moved her new boyfriend into there, so I've been sleeping a little bit here and there and everywhere, sir.
Okay. And I think you talked to Mr. Elkins the other day. Did you talk to Mr. Elkins?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, there's some people that can try to help your situation. So there are services available in the community. But I understand one thing, you don't want to go to the mission, right?
No, I don't.
Want to do. Now's not a good time to be sleeping in your car because it's going to get cold. Right?
Yes, sir. It's very cold.
Okay. But you're working?
Yes, sir. That's the only time I'm able to like sleep in a bed is when I go out of town and I work, sir.
Who do you work for?
DC Flooring, the same company I've been with for a while.
Okay. All right, well, we'll keep working with you. I know you've got tough circumstances, and I understand that. I appreciate you still working toward getting your obligations taken care of. So I'll schedule your next hearing for January 22nd. Does it make a difference whether it's Mondays or Fridays for you to come back?
No, sir.
Okay. That's a Monday, January 22nd. 9 o'clock will be your next, I think these are actually it'll be 10 o'clock because it's actually sentencing because you have a bond up.
I was going to ask, I've been wondering about what does that sentencing part mean? Because I've heard like
Well, it's just really a clue to me that you have a bond because I had set you for a review hearing, then you didn't show up and you got arrested on the warrant.
Yes,
now
sir.
you have a bond up, so I put it on the sentencing docket that keeps reminding me that you have a bond. So if you don't show up now, I tell the bail bondsman he's going to go track you down and take you to jail.
Oh, I understand, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Just come to court when you're supposed to.
Yes, sir.
All right, January 22nd, your next hearing is 10 o'clock.
State of Ohio recalls Jonathan Jones, case number CRB 22686, CRA 22685, CRA 23679.
All right, it's an appropriate screen. These are cases that are still pending. Okay, reluctantly, I'll allow you to remain at Mended Reeds, even though I've ordered you to stay at RRS since you have a good screen. But there may have to be some penalty imposed for that later down the road.
Yes, sir. Sorry for the aggravation.
Okay, remain at Mended Reeds and come back for another preliminary hearing. And we'll make it about a month. 12th is out, you're not available.
Yeah, other than that, I'm available throughout January.
16th or 19th?
Whichever's better for the court.
16th.
Thank you.
You are.
Thank you, sir.
February 16th will be the next hearing. Preliminary hearing.
Thanks.
Thank you.
You're up. Okay, we have some hearings now at the jail that we're going to go to by teleconference.
State of Ohio versus Thomas J. Coe, case number CRB 23742, CRB 23128, A and B, Andrew Curry, Sunday.
Right, it looks like Mr. Coe is muted, so I'm asking the sheriff's office to unmute him. Can you hear me, Mr. Coe? Guys, try it now. Can you hear me, sir? Yeah. Okay. I'm Judge Capper at the Lawrence County Municipal Court in Chesapeake. You've got new charges and an old charge. Yes. The new charge is 23-742. It's a theft offense. It alleges that on December the 8th in Fayette Township, you tried to deprive Tractor Supply of property without their consent. That's a first-degree misdemeanor theft offense, maximum penalty 6 months in jail without a bond. You have a right to remain silent. You don't have to say anything. You have a right to have an attorney, which it looks like I think Mr. Steyer was your attorney on the old case.
I had him on the old cases, Your Honor.
All right, I'll point you on this new case. What plea do you wish to enter?
I will enter a not guilty plea at this time, Your Honor.
And it looks like on the old case was 23-128. There was a bench warrant issued on November 20th for failure to appear. That is correct?
That is, Your Honor.
State asking for a bond now?
Yes, Your Honor, we'd ask for a $5,000 cash surety bond.
All right, based on your non-appearance previously, I'm going to set bond at $5,000 cash or surety on the new charge. Not guilty plea is entered. I'm assuming, is that a bond you think you could make, Mr. Coe?
Yeah, sure is.
You think you can make it?
Sure.
All right, so we don't have to go immediately to a pretrial. When would you like to have it set, Mr. Sire? I'm not setting any on the 18th. 26th or 29th are okay.
26th or 29th, either one, whichever's better for the court.
Let's do the 26th. The staff they'll be so bored from being off for the long weekend, they'll be anxious to come in here and work really hard the day after Christmas. December 26th for a pretrial at 10 o'clock. Okay, Okay, his new bond is $5,000 cash or surety.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Had he been at OBP or anything?
Yes, he was at OVP outpatient. If you still have the report that I gave last time, he was discharged for not showing up and he had failed his urine screens. So if for some reason he can't get out of jail, we would probably be willing to take him inpatient if that's something he's willing to do.
Okay, well, his attorney can discuss that with him, but the court would probably require an MRI since he was discharged and failed to appear previously.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Andrew Curry, case number CRB 23-464A, B, and C, CRB 23-463, CRB 23-291, CRB 23-61, CRB 22-351. Ashley Donoff is on deck.
Andrew Curry is Mr. Steyer's case. It looks like there's an allegation he failed to appear for a pretrial on November 17th. And he left treatment, I believe,
That's correct, Your Honor.
at Bethesda.
Yes.
Yes, I remember it was perhaps an impetus for one of Mr. Field's famous songs. Did you read
Got
the
quite a
report from
library.
Bethesda?
No, we got a new report today?
No, this
is the old one. November 11th. My woman got paid today and I'm out here.
Oh,
That's just like an opening line for a song.
yeah, I do remember that.
How do we want to proceed? What happened?
Well, Your Honor, his woman got paid that day, and he was out of there.
She's here. See, she's here now. He was doing well, I think, there for a while. Usually your lawyer says no.
At this point, I don't, I mean, obviously, I will give the usual warning that anything you say can be used against you, but if you have an explanation, that may be useful.
Well, see, we have a problem with her cleaning our yard up, and the reason I left her there is because she can't do it herself, so she did complete her program. I got an open deputy charge, and she can't clean it all up herself, heavy stuff, and she's having chest pains and stuff, so I had to help her clean up the open deputy, and that's why I left. But I know I need treatment. The room was helping me good. I was doing so good.
So I guess we'd like to know if it actually got cleaned up.
And I mean, I got 2 more buildings to clean up out there. I got the code enforcement came by and looked at it. It's a lot there, like I said before. It was a lot, but we're cleaning it up. And instead to help me clean up the truck, they bought a truck up our wild in their facility and cleaned up stuff too. And my brother stopped by after I got out and took a load over too and cleaned the most of that.
So progress, not perfection, Your Honor.
Well, I think it would be instructive if we got Mr. Curry to submit to a urine screen in the jail to see what we're dealing with. Can we have that done by the jail personnel, one of the deputies can do a urine screen on Mr. Curry, please? Okay, we'll have him back after we get the results.
Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Ashley Donoff, case number CRA 23-745, CRB 23-746. Timothy Henry is on deck.
She does, 745, 746.
Thank you.
Ma'am, are you Ashley Donoff?
Yes, sir.
I'm Judge Capper at the Lawrence County Municipal Court in Chesapeake, and your case is filed here now, and this is what's called an arraignment hearing for you. So you have a right to remain silent. You don't have to say anything. But if you do say things, it's all on the record. It can be used against you. If you admit something about your case. You have a right to have an attorney, to have one appointed to represent you if you can't afford one. You have a right to bail and to make the state approve your charges beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand those things?
Yes, sir.
You got two charges. The first one is possession of a fentanyl-related compound. It alleges that on December the 10th in Fayette Township, you knowingly obtained or possessed a fentanyl-related compound. That's a felony 5. Maximum penalty is a year in jail, $2,500 fine. Then 23-746 was a theft offense. It alleges December 10th. In fact, this was also in Fayette Township. You tried to deprive Walmart of property without their consent. That's a theft offense. Maximum penalty 6 months in jail, $1,000 fine. Do you understand these two charges?
Yes, sir.
Do you have the money to hire a lawyer?
No, I don't.
Do you have a job?
Yes, I do.
What do you do?
I babysit.
Okay. You paid by the hour for doing that?
Yes, sir.
How much per hour?
$150 a kid.
How many kids?
There's 2 kids.
Oh, $3 an hour?
$150.
150
Yes, sir.
per week?
Per kid, yes.
Okay. Well, you're still qualified for court-appointed lawyer. We got any lawyers around here? Lawyers are getting to be scarce. They used to be like running over top of each other everywhere. You couldn't swing a dead cat without hitting a lawyer. Now you can't hardly find
I may be the only one left, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to appoint Mr. Steyer to represent you. He's in the courtroom. Did you hear the charges?
I didn't, Your Honor, no.
So possession, it's a felony possession of a fentanyl-related compound, F5, and theft from Walmart. M1. Huntington address, Alger Boulevard, which I ran the length of this morning, unfortunately. I probably went right past your place, 527 Alger Boulevard. You still live there? Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I didn't catch the name, Your Honor.
Her name is Ashley Doneff, D-O-N-E-F-F. What's the state's position on bond for Ms. Doneff?
Well, unless Ms. Doneff would be interested in discussing the potential for treatment because of the alleged possession of fentanyl, we would ask for a $5,000 cash or surety bond, but if she's willing to do whatever treatment is recommended for her, we would not oppose that OR bond.
Do you have a medical card, ma'am?
Yes, I do.
Would you be willing to seek substance abuse treatment?
Yes, I will.
It's a West Virginia, but it's probably a West Virginia card, isn't it?
It's fine.
West Virginia medical card?
Yeah.
Do you have children?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so we need to look, I'm going to look at outpatient first. I'll give her a chance at outpatient. G. Okay. And the state's willing to keep the case here?
Yes, Your Honor, for the time being, as long as she's successful.
Okay. There's a lot to unpack here, and I know you're not a lawyer, and have you been involved in the court system before? Never? It's a lot. There's a lot here to understand, and I'm going to try to explain it to you and make it simple. You're charged, you've got a felony and a misdemeanor. The possession of fentanyl is a felony. The theft offense is a misdemeanor. You're in the county jail now. As bad as that is, it's not as bad as going to prison. On a felony, you can go to prison. That's the difference between felonies and misdemeanors. A felony, the judge can send you to prison. On a misdemeanor, the judge can only send you to the county jail. You've got one of each. So typically, if somebody that doesn't have a real extensive criminal history, the prosecutor's willing to let them go to treatment. And if they're successful in treatment, they may even dismiss the felony down the road. We're talking way down the road, not like next week, months from now, if you show that you're getting clean and going to stay clean. If you don't want to do that and you're recalcitrant, run, whatever, they can take you to the next level court, who can send you to prison if you're not seeking treatment or being successful in treatment. That's the worst case scenario, is you go to treatment, or that you go to prison if you're unsuccessful. The best case scenario is you get your case dismissed. You can't really get a better outcome than that. You get clean and you get your case dismissed, at least the possession charge, not the theft charge. So do you understand that?
Yes.
Here's the other thing. You're a West Virginia resident, so on a felony, there's nowhere to go to hide, because a felony warrant is good in every state of the Union of the United States and in most countries that have a treaty, extradition treaty with the United States, which is most. You could probably go to Iraq or someplace like that and not get extradited, but you wouldn't want to live there, would you?
No.
Okay, so the best thing you can do is go to treatment, do well, and I'm giving you the chance. Here's the other thing. There's a lot of different programs, and some of them are inpatient and some of them are outpatient. Two reasons I'm going to let you try outpatient is you've got a job and you've got a kid. So I'm going to let you try that first. But if you blow that off, and we got somebody in here in the courtroom that did that, if you blow it off, then I'm going to up the ante on you, and you're going to have to go to inpatient treatment. And ultimately, if you're not going to go to treatment, you're going to have to go to jail.
Yes, sir.
What you're taking, fentanyl, I mean, it's like, you know what Russian roulette is, where you put a bullet in the gun and spin it, and then see if you're playing Russian roulette, taking fentanyl. Lots of people are dying from fentanyl. You may not even know you're getting fentanyl. If you get anything off the street, it could have fentanyl in it. Even if you don't think, they may not even tell you, oh, it's got fentanyl in it. They just sell you something, but they're putting fentanyl in just about everything that you get off the street. And it doesn't take very much fentanyl to take you out. Do you understand that?
Yes.
So this may seem hard and harsh and so forth, but you getting clean, how old is your son?
My daughter, she's 15 months.
15 months, oh wow, well you've got a long ways to go. But you don't want your daughter to be doing drugs when she gets older, do you?
No, sir.
The best thing you can do for your daughter is to get clean, because we know statistically that if you have a parent that uses drugs, it's not a guarantee they're going to use drugs, but the percentage goes up. The chances that they're going to use drugs goes up. So I'm trying to give you some reasons to get clean.
Yes, sir.
Your daughter is a really good one. And for yourself. Do it for yourself, do it for your daughter, do it for the rest of your family, do it for the community. We'll be all better off if you get clean, not just your daughter. Okay? So
Yes, sir.
I'm going to give you the chance to do this. Heather, do you want to call down and talk to her? I'm going to have Heather call down and talk to you. You're going to, and your offices is on 20th Street?
20th Street, 920th Street.
Okay, that's 4 blocks from where you are, 4 or 5 blocks. So you're going to get to go home, but you've got to go to treatment, and you got to do well, and you got to get good screens. And if you do that, best outcome, you get clean, your case gets dismissed, you're a good example for your kid.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, where are you from originally?
West Virginia.
Well, I know that. Where in West Virginia?
Huntington.
Oh, you're a local girl.
Your Honor, you'd said you're not saying anything on the 18th. I think the 26th might be a good day to come back on this, just to get a quick look at things.
Is this somebody that QRT could be involved with?
I told Luke I would like to call down and talk to her as well.
Okay, so I'm also to put another set of eyes on you. We've got something called Quick Response Team, and they're gonna, when I can't watch you, they're gonna watch you.
Okay.
That's bottom line. So, and also they can help you. I mean, we're not here to help you fail. We're not here to try to throw you an anchor and say, okay, we want to see you swim with this anchor. I want to see you be successful. So if you're having problems, you need to find, and there's all kinds of resources where people want to help you. But you need to go to the people that will help you get sober, not to the people that want to see you use again. There's a lot of, I'm assuming that there's a lot of folks that you know that want to see you keep using. And you think they're your friends.
Yeah.
They're not. So you need to go to the people that want to help you get clean, not the people that want to see you keep using when you have a problem.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the lady from QRT's name is Megan, so she's going to talk to you too. So you've got resources to help you. And you have to take advantage of those resources. Let's come back. '26th?
Yeah, Your Honor, that'd be fine.
Okay, I want to see you the day after Christmas.
Yes, sir.
Do you know where the court is in Chesapeake?
Yes.
Across from the flea market.
Yes.
On County Road 1, Old 52. You're probably so young you don't know that it was there with 52. That kind of shows my age. That was US 52 at one time. It's County Road 1 now. So you have to be at the court December 26th, 10 o'clock for a preliminary hearing and pretrial. I'm letting you out on a $5,000 signature bond. And what that means is, as long as you come to court when you're supposed to, you don't have to post any money. If you don't show up, then you'll have to pay the money and you get a warrant. So,
Yes, sir.
do what you're supposed to do, get clean, use the resources available to you, and I'll see you the day after Christmas.
Thank you.
What agency's going to assess her?
RRG in Huntington. And she's going to be with QRT too.
This is Ashley Donoff, DONEFF.
State of Ohio versus Timothy Henry, case number CRA 23747, and Micah Ross is on deck.
Sir, are you Timothy Henry?
Yes, sir.
I'm Judge Capper at the Lawrence County Municipal Court in Chesapeake. Your hearing is happening here in the courtroom. You're being seen on a television monitor in the courtroom, and everything you say is being recorded. It's alleged that there's a warrant for your arrest in Fairfield County from the Common Pleas Court there. They're asking that you be sent to Fairfield County on this warrant for some sort of community control sanctions or violation. You have a right to have a hearing about this in this court, and it's not, I'm not going to decide whether you did or didn't do what they said you did. I'm going to decide, are you the Timothy Lee Henry they're seeking, and is there a good reason to make you go to Fairfield County on these charges? Do you want to have such a hearing? Do you want to have a lawyer appointed? And it looks like the underlying charge up there is possession of drugs, a felony of the 5th degree. Do you want to have a hearing in this court? Do you want a lawyer appointed to represent you in this court, or do you want to agree to go to Fairfield County?
I signed my report.
Okay, so you'll agree to go to Fairfield County?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna set bond at 15,000, cash or surety. Do you think that's a bond you could post? If you could post it, I'll let you go turn yourself in.
Yeah, I'm gonna try.
Okay, how much time do you want to try to post it?
A couple days, because our phone broke in here, so I can't get hold of nobody.
Okay. I'm gonna give, well, here's the way this works. I'm gonna give you all week because I'm not gonna order them to come pick you up if you're gonna get out on a bond and go up there. There's no they might pass you on the highway. They're coming here to pick you up, you're driving up there to turn yourself in. So that make any sense? So I'm gonna give you until Friday to turn yourself, to post bond and turn yourself in Fairfield County.
All right, then.
That is, and Friday is the 15th. So if you post bond, I'm ordering you to turn yourself in before Friday at 8 a.m.
All right.
in Fairfield County.
All right.
If you can't get up there for some reason, you gotta show up in this court in Chesapeake at 10 a.m. to explain why you couldn't get up there. Otherwise, the bail bondsman will be ordered to pick you up. Then if for some reason you can't post bond, you're still gonna be in the jail and we'll deal with you Friday at a hearing sometime when we get to you after 10 a.m.
All right.
So you know what you need to do. Try to post bond, get up to Fairfield before Friday. If you can't, you gotta either show up in the court here, or if you're still in jail, I'll see you on teleconference, just like this.
All right.
So go ahead and put him on the docket for Friday, and we'll check. Okay, that's all, sir.
State of Ohio versus Micah Ross, case number TRC 213080 A and B, and Joseph R. Sherman is on deck.
This is Mr. Steyer's case, Michael Ross. This is an old OVI, she failed to appear for a pretrial December 3rd of 21.
Your Honor, well, let's give her a chance to get into so she'll hear what I'm saying. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay. After Friday, I went back to my office and pulled the old file and did a quick review and saw the discovery had been filed in that matter and responded to. I received the OSP video. Well, I guess I didn't put the disc in to make sure it worked, but I assume it does. I received that back in 2022 or 2021 when this was filed, but there was in the report mention of other video that has not been provided. So I've this morning asked Mr. Hill if he had access to that, so I can take a look at that if it exists, and if not, we can figure out what we want to do with this. Obviously, we also have the issue of what to do following a long absence from court.
I'm willing to let her go to treatment if she will wear an ankle monitor.
Do you have a pay source? Do you have a medical card, for example?
I think so, I'm not sure if it's active.
I mean, you would probably, if it's not active, you probably have you probably would qualify then, so I think that would probably be workable. And that would be Ohio.
Yeah.
Okay, so We've got some beds here.
She can't go to RRS, her mom works there, so. Bethesda?
Yeah. What is it?
I'm gonna refer you to Bethesda. They're gonna evaluate you for inpatient treatment.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna let you, now here's the thing, have you had any kind of conversation with her about the implications of wearing an ankle monitor?
Not else. I think we had this conversation on the record in court Friday, but just to reiterate, if you're placed on an ankle monitor and you cut the ankle monitor, charges will be filed against you of tampering with evidence and vandalism. And in my experience with these cases, when those charges are filed and if they're proven, and honestly they're fairly easy to prove charges, almost invariably results in 3-year prison sentence. What you're charged with now is not enough to get you there. So if you were to undertake to cut that monitor, you'd potentially be vastly expanding your criminal
Can I ask you a question?
liability.
If I didn't agree to go to treatment on an ankle monitor, what would the other alternative be?
6 months in jail.
6 months in jail? And how long is the treatment?
It takes the time it takes. I don't know that we can tell you a figure on that.
Like 20, is it OVP?
No, it's not OVP or a 28-day program. This is a longer program than that, but the exact length depends on your...
You need a long treatment program.
Okay.
It's the best thing you can do as long as you agree that you're going to go there, and do you want to get clean? I mean, if you don't want to get clean, we're wasting your time, our time, everybody's time, if you don't want to get clean.
I'd already talked to him at OVP, and my sister's was opening a shelter in Gainthought, and I'd already talked to OVP, maybe last week or so.
And unfortunately, it sounds like you got picked up before you got there.
Yeah, I did.
So your option right now, ma'am, is to remain in jail or to go to Bethesda.
Okay, where's Bethesda or whatever?
I'm not really sure where
We have houses in Ironton.
it's in Ironton.
Okay,
So do you want to go?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, ma'am, there's a requirement of an ankle monitor. It's about noon, so I feel like there's a decent shot we'll get one onto you today. But if that doesn't happen today, it may be tomorrow.
Okay,
Just to be clear on that, so that if it doesn't happen today, you don't freak out and think that we forgot about you. It's just, we've got to coordinate this with the adult probation department.
with the probation department?
Yes.
They're the ones that put the ankle monitor on.
Okay, so I'll be on felony probation?
No, they just have the monitors. That's the agency that has the monitors.
All right.
Then I would ask to set this back again for a pretrial. Load up on 26th, I guess, but
26.
it seems like the best upcoming date.
Yes. So I'm going to see you the day after Christmas and get a good report. You're going to go to this place. It's a nice place. They're going to feed you. You'll have a warm bed. But you have to do what they tell you to do when they tell you to do it.
Okay, I've been in treatment before, I'm pretty clear on it.
Okay. Don't cause problems.
Okay,
Don't argue with the staff.
okay, I'll do my best.
No, just don't cause problems. Don't argue with the staff. Don't try to boss people around.
Okay,
Because the alternative's not going to be good.
all right.
Back to jail. You understand that?
Yeah, I do.
And you don't like it there, do you?
No, not at all.
I wouldn't either. It's not a good place to be. A place to be avoided.
Yeah,
Okay, we'll see you the day after Christmas.
all right.
Your Honor, we'd like to know how many days she's been in jail this time.
Oh, let's see. She got arraigned. Was it?
I went to jail Thursday night. I came here Friday morning.
So that was the
8th.
8th.
In 4 days.
Okay. Good luck. Take advantage of this opportunity.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Joseph R. Sherman, case number CRA 23744, A, B, C, and D, and Gregory Wiley is on that.
All right, sir, are you Joseph R. Sherman?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Sherman, I'm Judge Capper at the Lawrence County Municipal Court in Chesapeake, and you've got several charges that I'm going to go over with you. And I'm assuming have you received copies of these charges?
Yes, sir.
Okay. 744A is the first charge we're going to go over. It alleges that on December the 9th in Union Township, you purposely and knowingly and with sufficient culpability for engaging in conduct that would constitute a rape, did commit rape, or actually it's charged as attempted rape. It's a felony of the first degree. The maximum penalty is 10 years in jail and $20,000 fine. 744B alleges December 9th, 2023, you knowingly caused or attempted to cause physical harm to Isabel McComas by means of a deadly weapon. That's felonious assault. It's a felony of the second degree, which carries a maximum penalty of 8 years in jail and a $15,000 fine. 23744C alleges December 9th, 2023 at Union Township. You knowingly created a substantial risk of serious physical harm to another person, being Isabel McComas, by means of strangulation or suffocation. That is a felony of the third degree. Maximum penalty is 5 years in jail, $10,000 fine. 744D alleges December 9th in Union Township, you knowingly caused or tried to cause physical harm to Isabel McComas, who's a family member or a member of your household. That's domestic violence, a felony of the fourth degree. Maximum penalties 18 months in jail and a $5,000 fine. So those are the charges. I can't remember if I gave him his rights or not at the same time. You have a right to remain silent. You don't have to say anything about this if you don't want to. But if you do make statements, what you say is all on the record. It can be used against you. You have a right to consult with a lawyer before you make any statements and to have one appointed to represent you if you can't afford one. You have a right to bail, to make the state prove these charges beyond a reasonable doubt. Those are your rights. Do you understand your rights, Mr. Sherman?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have money to hire a lawyer.
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you hired a lawyer at this point?
No, sir.
Okay, but you're going to do that? You want to do that?
Yes, Your Honor. I want to hire my lawyer.
Okay. I'll make a note of that.
Thank you.
What's the state's position on bond for Mr. Sherman?
The state would request a $250,000 cash and surety bond.
Okay, I'll set bond at $250,000.
Yes, and a protection order too.
Cash or surety, and I'm ordering that you do not contact, go around, or post anything about Isabel McComas. And he come into jail on the 9th. That was Saturday. I'll set the preliminary for the 18th, December 18th.
I'll give it back to you when I get it back. Now, what's the resend it?
At 10 o'clock.
It doesn't matter, it's when you get it.
All right, your next hearing, Mr. Sherman, is December the 18th at 10 o'clock in this court. Do you have any questions, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, that's all.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Gregory Wiley, case number CRA 2624. Andrew Curry is on deck.
Sir, are you Gregory Wiley?
I am, Your Honor.
Mr. Wiley, I'm Judge Capper at the Lawrence County Municipal Court. This is your arraignment hearing. You have a right to remain silent. You don't have to say anything. If you do make statements, it's going on the record, can be used against you. You have a right to have an attorney, to have one appointed if you can't afford one. You have a right to make the state prove the charges beyond a reasonable doubt. And you have a right to bail. Do you understand those things?
I do, sir.
You have one charge. It's an old charge, case number 2624. So it's a possession of drugs charge from July of 2020. It's alleged in Perry Township on July 31st of 2020, you knowingly were in possession of fentanyl, Schedule I substance, less than the bulk amount. So that makes it a felony 5. Maximum penalty is a year in jail, $2,500 fine. Do you understand this charge?
I do, sir.
Do you have the money to hire a lawyer?
No, sir.
Do you want to be considered for a court-appointed lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Do you have a job?
No, sir. I have just actually, I haven't started yet, I just was hired on, but I hadn't got to start before this happened.
So I'll appoint Mr. Steyer to represent you. And it looks like from the file, he was released from the jail on sometime before August 3rd of 2020, and given a court time and date to appear because of jail overcrowding by Deputy Atkins, and did not appear. It was August 1st of 2020 when he was released. What's the state's position on bond? He has I have a Lavalette, West Virginia address, is that correct?
No, sir.
What's your address?
I'm currently staying at the Huntington City Mission.
Okay. Did you get arrested on this, or did you turn yourself in?
No, I was picked up in Huntington on trespass.
Went to Western Regional?
Yes, sir.
How long were you there?
30 days plus 35, I think.
And you had a charge, but you had a charge in Huntington too, besides this?
My charge there was taken care of by November 21st, I think. It was, then I was on hold for here.
Okay. What's the state's position on it?
Your Honor, I don't have a file. What's he charged with?
Felony 5, possession of fentanyl.
From 2020?
Yes.
Well,
I'm sorry, sir. I am currently on that, the sub-text program also. I started that while I was in Western Regional, so.
How often are you expected to take that?
I received the shot, and it's a 30-day.
The reason I'm asking is because you've been out of Western Regional for a fair bit of time, when did you last take the shot?
I got the shot the day before I left there, and that would have been, I think, Thursday. I got here Saturday.
December 8th.
This Saturday.
Okay, good. I'm just worried we weren't running up against an issue with that. That's fine.
You're not going to get it at our deal.
Is there, obviously, do you know if there was an agency that was involved in that? Is that something that's done through an agency?
It's done through the jail itself.
This sub-tax program.
Do we have any agencies that have a Subutex program?
It's Sublocade.
Sublocade, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. But at any rate, do we have anyone?
Yeah, we all do it.
Okay. OVP then might be a good choice since he's in Huntington.
Do you want to let him out without an ankle monitor, or does he need to have an ankle monitor, Mr. Field?
I don't know if an ankle monitor is practical if he's at the Mission.
Yeah, I mean, if it was going to be a residential, that makes more sense, or if he had a home he could identify. But he has been out missing for 3 years or more.
And also, if I can add this, I was just approved through Harmony House for the program where they're going to step in and help me pay for my rent. And I just got my voucher to find a place, so I will have an address in Huntington as soon as I get home.
But we don't have that address to set the monitor to at this point, so. I'm going to ask for an OR bond. I recognize the state may have an objection to that, but I think under the set of circumstances with him, especially with him having gotten onto a medically assisted program that we're not going to be able to get through in jail, I'm going to ask him to take a chance on him, let him out on an OR bond with a requirement that he get started with OVP and get him back here on the 26th.
What say you, Mr. Hill?
I don't know, Your Honor. If he gets out, I guess he goes back to the Mission until he finds, until they get
He's
him.
going to get a felony warrant, so it's going to be still good.
Yeah,
I mean, he's gotten picked up on it in West Virginia once before.
I think Mr. Steyer's suggestion is the best we can do under the circumstances, and hope that this gentleman understands that our goal here is, you know, if he's compliant, is to make sure he gets his treatment and not necessarily just to send him off to prison.
I absolutely do understand, and I will be a better citizen.
What is your name again, sir?
Gregory Wiley, W-I-L-E-Y. So when you get released, you're going to go back to the city mission?
Correct.
I have a contact at the city mission. I will contact her and ask her to be watching for you to come through and hopefully make sure we can get in touch with one another when you get out and we can work on this. But it's going to be, I'm saying the 26th, I assume that's when the court's going to set the hearing.
Do you have a cell number, or do you have a phone number you can be reached, Mr. Wiley?
I do not. At the current time, I will obtain a phone when I get out of here.
Okay. How are you going to get back to the city mission?
I'm going to try to have a friend come and pick me up. If not, I guess I'll have to walk.
Kim's not here. If that's
Yeah, that's what I turned around to look and see if she was here.
She's on vacation.
I will get there. I won't let you down. I promise. The walk is not crowded.
It's a pretty good walk from the jail to, it's probably a little over 20 miles.
Sir.
It's doable, but not easy. There's actually, there's still a TTA bus?
I don't believe it does anymore.
Okay. All right, I'm going to set, do you know where the court is in Chesapeake?
Yes.
Okay, that's where your hearing's going to be.
To clarify, the one across from the flea market,
not the mayor's court.
Mayor's court down in town. Okay.
December 26th is going to be your next hearing. If you don't show up, then I'll have to issue a warrant for you, which will be good in West Virginia. And as you know, they'll have you sitting in Western Regional for quite a while before they send you back over there. That's just the way it works over there. So you're going to get out on a signature bond, stay in treatment, go to treatment over there, come back on the 26th. Your lawyer will be here then.
Yeah, I'll be here that day, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Mr. Savage, thank you.
State of Ohio recalls Andrew Curry, Lawrence County Jail, case number CRA 23-464, A, B, and C, CRB 23-463, and others. Ashley Donna is on deck.
Okay, he had a good screen. Okay, good. I was afraid you weren't gonna have a good screen.
I knew you think it was.
So how do you want to proceed, Mr. Starr?
I guess to some degree depends on what the state's looking for in terms of a bond or a release here. He stated he is interested in returning to treatment, I believe, but I don't know if that's what the state's looking for at this point. I'm honestly not sure if it's even viable.
It seems like the most viable thing, particularly because he's, two things. He's clean and he mentioned cleaning up the property, which was a big deal to as far as all these charges. If somebody's willing to take him back.
I talked to Shawnee, they're willing to take him.
He was inpatient before. So I don't know if he wants, so that's going to mean going back to square one, right? Do not pass go, collect $200, back to square one. So you want to talk about it in Bethesda and give us an answer as to what you want?
It would still be going back inpatient. I mean, he's more, I just spoke with Shawnee about he's more than welcome to try another facility if he feels that it would benefit him more. I had him twice. I mean, I don't care to take him back, but I just want to make sure that we're doing right by him if he's not benefiting from our program.
Yeah, but I can't make that decision for you, Mr. Curry. You have to decide if you're willing to go back to Bethesda or want to try someplace else.
Yeah, Bethesda, I'll go back, they'll take me back.
So if Bethesda will take him back, he'll go.
They're not sure they want to take you back, is that right? They're not sure?
Oh, we don't.
It's like bad boyfriend, it's kind of like was a bad boyfriend.
He does
I've
have
heard so much good from them.
Yeah, well, you got commitment issues, so you just stay put.
Do you want to check or can you say?
I can say, it's fine.
Okay. They're going to try it again.
Thank you very much.
So I'll order you released to Bethesda again. And how many cases am I setting for? I said
I have
staff
4
would
so
be happy.
far.
They're going to be off so long over the long weekend. They'll be happy to come in
I'm gonna be here
on the 26th, but they may not be that happy if I load up 19 cases on that day.
2 of them is already, one of them he's pled to and been sentenced. One of them he's pled to and not been sentenced, and then 4 of them are pending.
Oh, it's not that terrible yet. So we'll make it December 26th.
One of the things, Your Honor, that and I think that Bethesda kind of maybe was able to help a little bit with, was getting him some time and maybe resources to get that property cleaned up.
We were able to take him.
They were helping him before.
Yeah, we took him on community service to clean him.
He even said they took a truck out there for him. So,
We did.
Do that again?
Sure.
Thank you.
Back on the 26th, Andrew.
all right,
Thank you.
let's,
State of Ohio versus Ashley Donoff on a recall at Lawrence County Jail. Case number CRB 23746, CRA 23745.
Your Honor, if I may, I couldn't find her in the insurance portal. I can get her set up with insurance, but because of the drug screen and fentanyl, I don't know, until her insurance gets approved, then that's when she'll see our doctor, and I don't know how I feel about that.
So, are you saying you can't take her inpatient until she has insurance?
they don't do inpatient.
Oh, you don't do outpatient, you're right, okay, I got you.
Only outpatient.
You can't start her program until you have
Right, I can get her
insurance.
signed up for insurance, but that's about it,
How long will that take?
depending on the process. Brianna just gave me a number that she said would either today or tomorrow.
Yeah, it all just depends. I mean, sometimes it's the same day, sometimes it's the next day. It can take a week if she doesn't have any insurance at all.
And that's just what I worry about with the drug screen being processed.
If we're talking about I don't mean to minimize, we're talking about a period of a day or two, one way or the other, I think we're probably, as a practical matter, about what we would have anyway. I mean, I don't imagine they'd have an appointment for this afternoon anyhow, so I don't know if that makes a difference or not.
Megan, what's your take on it?
My take would be sign her up for Ohio insurance under residential. That would be my recommendation, but I know you want to give her a shot at outpatient.
She's got a child, right? She's got a baby.
Where's the
Where is
child
her
now?
child?
Where's the child?
Yeah, where's the child now?
Home with my mom.
Okay, so we got, and your mom is capable and,
No, my mom is actually on kidney dialysis.
what's your mom's name?
Michelle
Michelle what?
Permines.
What's her phone number?
I don't know her cell phone number by heart.
Is there a house phone?
No, sir.
Where does she live?
She stays in Morgan's Terrace with her cousin. Like, I can promise, like, I can make sure, like, I just want to be able to show, like, I'm really want to be trustworthy to be able to do this and be able to go home today to go see my kid.
Your Honor, we could set it up to where she calls and checks in with me by phone every day.
Okay, we'll try it and come back on the 26th, and if it doesn't work, then we'll have to go inpatient, and we could look at a program where your baby could go with you.
Maybe sooner.
Inpatient.
I could be able to get insurance.
There's a few of those, not very many.
Do you have a way to get a hold of her at the jail?
I can call the jail
Okay.
and get a hold of her. Actually, this is Megan with QRT. Can you contact me as soon as you get out and then check in with me by phone every single day until you're able to get set up with RG?
Yes, ma'am. The other lady I talked to said that she could come and pick me up and take me back to Huntington, and as soon as I get there, I can call you off my phone number.
Okay.
And what is your phone number, ma'am?
My phone, 934-963-9613.
That's a cell phone?
Yes, sir.
I'll go ahead and send you a text message myself so that when you get out, you can contact me as well.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Do what you're supposed to do, and we'll see you on the 26th.
Okay, so the other lady's still coming to get me?
That's my understanding, yes.
I'll go ahead and come and get her and start her paperwork at the office, get her on the phone with the insurance company. and we'll go from there.
Okay, that finishes us up at the jail.
State of Ohio versus Buddy L. Hardy, case number TRC 23532, A, B, C, and D, CRB 23287, CRB 22600, CRC 1870, and CRA 1864.
Mr. Steyer's case for sentencing.
Your Honor, Mr. Hardy has a letter dated the 1st that states that he, at this time, still needs to keep his wound clean and dry. That if he's unable to be in a clean environment and keep wound clean in jail, that may not be best at this time. I recognize we're pushing this out a ways, but I also feel that it's probably safe to say that it's not going to be possible to keep a wound clean and dry in the jail. And I don't want to be flippant. We have plenty of time to get this jail time in eventually. I would ask that we set it out further.
Mr. Hill.
You could keep it dry in the jail, maybe not clean.
Question that even. Sometimes I think the storm drains back up into the cells.
I went and washed it in the shower to save my life.
Let's go out another approximately a month, January 19th.
Let me take a look at my calendar. I think, 19th is fine. 12th the week I have an issue.
January 19th, 10 o'clock for sentencing.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Thank you, too, by the way.
Make sure you have that written down, January 19th. I don't want you to miss.
State of Ohio versus Chad A. Sheets, case number CRB 18729.
Okay, Mr. Sheets.
Yes, sir.
You still have community service you haven't done.
Yeah, I turned in some today. I've been doing it at the Gapless Outreach. I don't know if he looked at it or not. I
You got
gave
some community service.
it to the guy at the probation.
But he's supposed to be doing his community service, picking up litter.
I've not seen anything.
That was specifically ordered because you had a littering charge.
Yeah.
Your order was to pick up litter for 30 hours.
Oh, I didn't know it was specifically litter.
Did he say he turned something in?
Yeah, I gave it to the guy at the probation.
Okay, well.
It was 12 and a half
I'm not going to
hours.
accept it if it's not litter pickup, because that's what you were ordered to do. And
That's the only, out of the 30 hours, that's it.
okay, that's all you got left. It looks like you paid your fine. So you get with Mr. Major and Mr. Cooper about how we're going to get you 30 hours of litter pickup.
All right.
And I'll set your next hearing for January 26th. Get it done before then, you don't have to come back.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
This won't be acceptable, I don't believe.
Right.
He said it
I told him it has to be littering pickup.
Okay. I'll talk to him, Your Honor.
You know, we got Destiny Gerald. It's on the docket.
Well, I asked them for the folder and they never did give it to me.
Well, we need to get it.
Okay.
We go ahead and come up or wait?
You can wait till he gets filed.
Okay.
way, there is a shuttle that runs from Ironton, at least, I don't know if it goes into Huntington, but it runs up this way. It goes to the center in Huntington too, the TTA center. Looks like you have to transfer at South Point Walmart to do it.
State of Ohio versus Destiny Gerald, case number CRB 23595.
Okay, so we have file, this is set for sentencing. She's at
She
OVP.
is at OVP inpatient, Your Honor. She has been there since the 6th of December, so she will graduate on January the 6th. Since she's been there, she's been doing great. She is helping other patients there, and she's just doing very well considering her situation.
Okay. Well, one thing we're going to need to be looking at, what's going to be the plan after she leaves OVP?
I'm not going back to the terrace. I'm going to do inpatient somewhere, but I'm not going back to the terrace or nothing.
Where's your little boy?
He's with my dad. My dad's got him.
In Braxton County?
Yeah.
And that's a good
ways
placement
away.
for him?
Yeah, it's a good place. Oh, yeah, it's good. He's fine there.
Okay. Well, you look 100% better than you did when she was here the first time.
I feel a lot better off the methadone. It was like a blessing in disguise. It really was.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you're doing well.
I am.
Worried about you.
Yeah, I know. I am.
You're
We were in
a
group,
boy,
and
too.
I was like grateful for things. I was like, I'm grateful for my judge and my bondsman because this was the best thing that could have happened. So.
Okay, well, you've got a really good start on this, but there's a lot of work left to be done.
Absolutely.
Okay. Mr. Hill, any input from you?
No, it just sounds like she's doing a lot better, so we're happy for that.
Thank you.
Okay, I don't think I've actually sentenced her yet.
She has not been sentenced yet,
She's
Your
on
Honor.
bond.
She is on bond.
And you know what? I think I want to keep it that way.
Your Honor, the 8th is the first Monday following her expected graduation date. In the other direction, hang on, I did something that,
The 4th. All right. The 8th is a Monday. The 5th.
and then the 5th is the last day before her expected graduation date.
I think
So
I feel more comfortable with the 5th. if you-
That'd be fine, Your Honor.
Okay, so.
Because that's going to be here before you know it, and we need a plan, what you're going to do.
Okay.
And Brianna, you're going to help her with that, getting a
Yes.
plan together, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'll set it for sentencing, and the reason I want to keep this is because Mr. Sowers, as you know, will come pick you up if you.
Oh,
go
yeah.
off.
He'll come get me.
Yeah, so. All right, good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor.
Okay, court's adjourned. Okay, well,